Welcome back to Mario Kart World. I don't know if you've seen this game, but it's kind of like a new Mario Kart game. It's kind of like it came out this year. It's kind of like it came out for a new Nintendo console. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's kind of interesting. So I thought I might just check it out, you know. Anyways, wow, baby, yep, it's a child. And you know what that means, guys? Free roam! 2 hours of... Okay, I might do a knockout tour or two. But I do love just roaming free. Okay, I don't want to be a baby. Give me not the baby. You do have Daisy. I've said it before, I like Daisy a lot. But I've never liked Daisy's hairstyle. And which always, you know, go off with whatever hairstyle you like, you know? But, like, that always puts me off a little bit. Can I sort these? I was like, why is there Daisy over here? The swimsuit Daisy. It's like, oh my god, man, Jesus. We got Weege. Where's Weege? Ugh. Look at this single-toothed moron. I hate Baby Bowser. Sorry, I hate Baby Mario and Baby Luigi's looks. I gotta be honest. But no, we can play Mario Kart. I might just go through free roam, and I could talk about, you know, seeing Shakespeare, which I had done this weekend. I can talk about Ozzy Osbourne, like 2 steps from death, and it's how sad it is. I don't know, what else can we talk about? Tons of fun, exciting things. Good evening, welcome to another exciting adventure. Another exciting stream of ours. Follow that helicopter. That sounds dangerous. I mean, I'm just a guy on a fucking cart, man. Come on, Luigi. I don't know if I'm like quick enough for this. I got a really shitty cart. I believe it's already Tuesday. Again, it feels like a short week. And at least work-wise, it will be a short week. I'm not exceptionally good at doing work at work, by the way. But it still ends up being the thing of, like, I tend to always have to, like, at some point during a sprint, or rather a 2-week period, to ask for more work because I ran out of work to do. Pretty much every sprint. Either we're underselling ourselves or the stuff we get is just easier. Nothing takes as long as you would think it will. Aside from, you know, laziness. Which I have in droves. Whoa! What are we doing? Where are we going? Helicopter. What's the deal? Pizza. I'm just that good. Come on. Hey, fuck the police going by. Holy shit. Yep, it really is like GTA, but for Mario. Very strange. Oh, this music. Yeah, I didn't mention it yesterday because I was playing, you know, Mario Kart World. But during the weekend, obviously it was 4th of July. 4th of July was great. Everyone, like, you know, you eat hot dogs, you eat barbecue. Okay, just because you can't shoot, like, random strangers in the face and take their car doesn't mean it's, you know, I get, okay. I know it literally doesn't have the ability to do Grand Theft Auto, but, like, aside from the fact that it doesn't have GTA, it is like GTA. No, but fam, like, I read that as Doug Bowser's minions on your way to the goal. I don't know, maybe if I, like, he knew I emulated, maybe Doug Bowser would be sending his minions after me, his goons. What the fuck is this challenge? Oh, who put this shit on the road? Don't run into that, you moron. That's what Luigi sounds like? He sounds fucking weird. Nice. Hey, Boom Boom. You alive? Easy. Beautiful. I like that. There was a lot of one wacky, weird challenge. That was... Sorry, the challenges range dramatically, and some are better than others. Some are... Well, they're all like, whatever. They're all fine. But some are like, oh, whatever. You do the coins. And then some are like... There's a crime scene. Track down the witness. You know, shit like that. It's a bit more dramatic. Speaking of which, I haven't played that Zelda Hyrule thing yet. I'll do that next week, probably. Along with, like, the Smash 64 remix. God, there's so much shit to play. No, but my family came down for July, which is nice. My grandma. who lives in Vegas. And yes, she does gamble. I mean, that's what you do when you live in Vegas. You probably gamble a decent chunk of time. No, she doesn't lose, like, she's not broke or anything. She's not, like, getting her kneecaps obliterated by the fucking mob. But, you know, she goes for the slots. The penny slots. Does the video poker. Which is why, you know, as a child, I spent a lot of time in Vegas. Which might surprise some people, because you think, oh, that's like an adult's playground. No, that was my playground. That was my playground. That's where I roamed. That's where I earned my stripes. In the dingy den of Vegas. That's right. Sorry, I thought I saw something in the music store. Wait. Turn around. Not that I'm an expert at Vegas or anything like that, but I've been there before once or twice. And I can tell you a little bit about certain things. My parents would know more, and so would my grandparents, about, like, what places used to be there, what, you know, the whole history behind some of this stuff. I'm Mafia Net for baby. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. It's an interesting place, Vegas, because it's historically constantly in flux. So, you know, famous casinos aren't guaranteed to stay. Oh, the Pipeline Hotel. As a matter of fact, wait, can I? No, that's not the right thing. What's the camera button? I saw this, like, this Pauline. Here. Man, look at that leg, dude. All you need is the leg. It's like, what is over here? The bank coin coffer. Yeah, I know. I gotta tell the guys about her. Accelerate the fun. Hey, crab? Oh no, goddammit. Sorry, I'm just driving down the street and a crab comes out of fucking nowhere. Back up. Can I go down? Yeah, thank you. I'll go down and up a little bit. God, I hate how creepy it is when you press the face camera button. It's just like, yeah, He's just like, He's so excited. What are you doing, Luigi? God, I lost the pose I had before. You know what? You stop taking... Go back up a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Good music as well. That's good. That's not bad. And perfect. Okay, now that you can just send shit to your phone, it makes it a lot easier. Hey, man. But no, there's a lot of stuff like the graffiti and shit. There's so much little small stuff you can just take a second to look at. What the fuck does that say? What language is this? We build your town, we build your dreams, we build your homes. That sounds like a fucking... What are you, Shinra? I'll pay for the soundtrack separately. Wait for it to come to the fucking Nintendo Switch app. And then you are paying for it separately. Hey, Yoshi, what are you doing in the back alley, man? That's dangerous. Yo, Yoshi. What are you doing back here, Yoshi? Yo, Yoshi, what are you doing back here? You never know what might happen in a back alley like this, Yoshi. Just saying. You know, you never... I thought he was gonna fucking punch me. You never know what might happen in a back alley like this, Yoshi. Just saying. You might not wanna be standing there. Oh, you mean like a vinyl or something? Can you be angry, Luigi? Not angry enough. Now, what happened to, like, pissed off Luigi? Also, wait, there's the letterboxing, isn't there? Where's the letterboxing? There we go. That's the cinema. That's cinema. That's cinema. No. Nice. I probably would too, but I want to be able to hear it more. I still haven't taken the dive to listen to it. Find your Club Nintendo Smash 4 CD. That's pretty cool. Smash 4 was pretty good. It had a good soundtrack. Even Smash's 4, the main theme is pretty good, but it's like the forgotten Smash game because it's too similar to... It's not that similar, but it's still similar enough to Ultimate. While also being on the Wii U, so a lot of people just didn't play it or forgot about it. It was in a fallow period of Nintendo, so it kind of just like left people, you know, high and dry a little bit. It had some cool stuff in it, and the fact that it was like a 3DS version and a Wii U version was cool, because they both had some neat features and some neat characters. They had some great characters. They had some great DLC and some great maps. There was a lot to like about Smash 4. I mean, there were other things too, but like having the Mii Fighters for the first time, you could customize your characters. Having fucking Cloud, bringing back a lot of classics. You got Ice Climbers, you got Mewtwo, you got fucking Lucas back. I was happy about that. I think it was DLC. You got Ryu. They got some Bayonetta. They got some good Smash character. Hey man, hey Spike. I just fucking murdered him, man. Shot a man in Reno just to watch him cry. But yeah, there was some cool stuff that happened in there. The stage builder. I mean, I guess that wasn't. Was that in Brawl? That wasn't Brawl, right? Smash 4 looked more like Smash Snore. Hey, I do have memories of playing Smash 4 in high school. Before, like, you know, football games. We'd be in the back room, in the band room. Someone had a TV in his locker, one of the big lockers in the band room. And we would play Smash. He would whip out his Wii U and we'd be playing it. That was fun. That was a good section leader. He also brought his laptop and we would play, like, LAN Kirby Air Ride it sometimes. And it was shit. That's kind of what reminded me of that game after I hadn't played it since I was a kid. It was them playing it. And then me realizing that, oh yeah, I didn't know how to play this game as a kid. Evidently. I evidently was too stupid to know, like, how to actually engage with this game properly. I just liked driving around. Where are we going? Coins over here? Over here? Well, that's a fun little park festival. It's my second favorite Smash. Fair enough. A lot of people would say Melee. I might probably say Melee just for nostalgia's sake. Although, again, I'm not used to how it plays at all. It's way too quick, so I'm not very good at it. And 64, I haven't played much of. I've been meaning to play the Smash Remix ROM hack that added like 20 new characters to Smash 64. So was that fucking Gino on the park bench? What happened to you, man? No, it's just a couple of shit. Fuck you. I was talking about my grandma who lived in Vegas, that's right. Yeah, they moved out there ages ago. But she came down, my dad's cousin who lived up in, like, Connecticut, Rhode Island, who has a very strong Boston accent. Like, if you think of a stereotypical Boston accent, that is what she has. Like, almost exactly. Just picture that in your head, and that's one of my family members, which is very strange, because I was born and raised in the South, and that's all I'm kind of familiar with. I'm sure there's a lot of nostalgia in 64 for just feeling different. Not just the gameplay-wise, but with some of the music, some of the maps. Whereas now it's like this big conglomeration with thousands of songs, but doesn't mean it's better, of course. But I think... And that is, by the way, it is going to come to 64 NSO. It's been leaked from, like, Nintendo themselves. So we expect that to come, not relatively soon, but eventually to NSO, which is exciting. I'd like it for NSO, and I'd probably play through it and do all the classic modes for it. God, do you know how badly I wish I could just change the music settings in this game? I can't believe Nintendo still doesn't do, like, normal audio settings like most games do. Not only that, but they thought in their heads that this was the right audio balancing for this fucking game. They made like 200 songs. It was like, yo, I think the right audio balancing is if they can barely hear it. I think that's good. I think that's the way we should do this. Whoever on that team decided that, I want to, like, look you in the goddamn eye and tell you, wow, this is abandoned. Imagine the person who made the texture for this interior hallway that no one is ever going to see except for me. It's like 9 Remake was going to be announced yesterday. Well, yeah, now people are thinking that 9 Remake is cancelled. Potentially. Which, I mean, to be fair, it was initially leaked in the NVIDIA leaks, which almost everything else in that leak came true. So if it doesn't come out, there is a good chance it was cancelled. Again, having something exist at one point in time does never mean it's going to happen. It's like when, apparently, Retro Studios are working on, like, a fucking Chic game. It's like, what do you mean Retro Studios are working on a game about Chic? That's awesome. Never came to fruition. A lot of canceled games like that. I'd like to think they would still come. Maybe it's either being delayed or something. You know, who knows? But we'll see. But now I'm just curious what people have inside their fucking apartments. People way too sure. Again, I mean, having it be in the NVIDIA leaks makes people very certain. Because it's like, well, shit. We had, like, how many games on these leaks that also ended up being a reality? It's like, well, this gotta be true. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed to... Doesn't mean any of those games were guaranteed to be released. It just means that they were guaranteed to maybe have been in development at some point. Oh. But, yeah, no game is ever out till it's out. But it was nice. We went to a Braves game, which I hadn't been to in a while. Also, I can't believe the fact that I have friends who live in Georgia and were born and raised in Georgia and have never been to a Braves game. It's like, what do you mean you've never been to Braves Stadium? How? What's wrong with people? I went to a Braves game before I even lived in Georgia, man. I'm not like the biggest sports fan nor the biggest baseball fan, but I still like the Braves. America's team, man. Where the fuck am I? See, now I didn't realize I could just, like, hang out on these buildings. Xenoblade's coming to Steam, though? Oh, we know that already, though, because Dolphin came to Steam. And then got promptly removed. So at some point, Xenoblade was on Steam. I see a P-switch over there. I spy with my little eye, a little switch. 2. Find a way to the trophy. That's -2. I like sports culture more than I like watching the sports. I mean, here's the thing. I like watching sports when I'm watching it, but I don't feel inclined. The same way I like watching a fighting game tournament when I'm watching it, but I don't really feel inclined to watch it on my own volition. If it's on, I'll be like, yeah, I enjoy this. Or watching it with friends, and it's like, yeah, no, I get it. But I don't go out of my way to watch it on my own. Baseball is one where I can actually just enjoy it. It's super chill. You go to a baseball game, you get some food or whatever. You gotta get food. Like, out of any sport, baseball is the one where you get, like, a hot dog. Or something. You get something. You're going to be sitting there in the crowd with something in your hand. Peanuts. You know, Cracker Jacks. And then you just chill. You chat. Then the game happens. And you know, you see, okay, they're about to bat. Beautiful. Watch it. And then while you're waiting for the thing to get set up again, whatever. They're not the longest games, but they're nice. They're fun. It's very chill. All you really need to pay attention to is those 2 seconds of the throwing the ball and the batting, and then you go back to doing whatever the fuck you want. Then you get to listen. I love I mean, it does feel very old American baseball, so there's traditions like having an organist playing the organ at the baseball game, and they'll do, like, little songs based around the people who are, you know, walking out. Usually the bad guys, the enemy, the other team. So we're playing, you know, there's a guy called Mike Trout on the other team of the Angels. And the organist will play on the organ Fish Heads by Barnes & Barnes. Because his name is Mike Trout. You get it? Clever because it's a fish. Then you laugh and you're like, oh, that's fun. I love that. I love that that to this day we have, like, an organ player staffed at baseball stadiums to play organ music periodically. Little interludes. That's wonderful. It really feels special. When we went to one baseball game as a kid, to a Pirates game. You have something in your hand, what, your fucking cock? What are you fucking talking about? Hey, Luigi. Your lady's here. Dude, don't be like Paul Rubens and get arrested. And then people are going to be afraid of Pee Wee Herman. Or Paul Rubens. Or some upgrades to reach. I wonder what they mean. But yeah, that was fun. I like going to Braves games. And I like going with family. And honestly, it was just a good excuse for everybody to talk to each other. Yeah, wreck this shit. Yeah, wreck the people. Fuck these people. Yeah, they're dead. Whoa. Hey, yo, I need like another... I need another one. I'm being murdered by sports right now. Whoa, what the fuck? Yo, I didn't know you could capture a fucking helicopter in this game. I didn't know this. I evidently have not encountered that. Surprised they didn't make you do like the boat, the ship, or sorry, the boat, the car, and the helicopter to do all three. But what's that? West Greens Park. What is this? Fucking New York? Also, sorry, just that sky was really pretty. Right? I wish I had more control over this. Like, I want it to be lower, but I don't want Luigi in the frame. Actually, I don't want even hear Luigi. That's the best I can do, I think. Yeah, but my dad's cousin left, but the rest of us, we stayed behind. My grandma was still here for a day. My sister had gotten tickets ages ago for us to go see a play. Shakespeare. Fried chicken! Alright, I got distracted by the too much flavor. Yo, there's never enough fucking flavor. What is it, Bojangles? Is it Bojangles or Popeyes? That's when it would be too much flavor. And even then, that's not too much. It's just right. Just perfect. Hey man, you got that fried chicken, Toad? I know I just ate. I'm not exactly hungry, but what do you got? Just going straight across traffic. Penance won it. Do a trick! I did. Wowie! And I've never seen a Shakespeare play before. I've read Shakespeare. Everyone's read Shakespeare, probably in school, if you live in America. Not everywhere in the world, of course. Not everybody studies Shakespeare. That is Western literature. People everywhere study different things, you know? It just depends. But here in the United States, and I would imagine in a lot of Western English-speaking countries, they probably study Shakespeare, so... And as I've always heard, if you don't like reading it, it's probably important for it to just be, It's more enjoyable being performed, is typically what I've heard from Shakespeare. Oh yeah, no, I know the importance of Shakespeare. I have nothing against Shakespeare. I quite like it. But especially because it's hard to fucking understand sometimes. The language is archaic, and sometimes the usage is different. And that can genuinely make it difficult to read. It's some of the stuff that's like these days that we still read what is essentially what was originally written for the most part. And that makes it difficult. And while they were performing it, well, first let me start in by it's called the Shakespeare Tavern. It looks a little bit like an old-timey place, and that's by design. It's not like the Globe Theatre in the UK, which has been burned down like 20 times with a real thatch roof and stuff. But they have it like an old-timey tavern, and so because of that, they have sold old-timey tavern food. I got a shepherd's pie. My sister got a Cornish pasty. Or maybe someone else did. But by the way, Cornish pasty is just like delicious meat and potato and sauce and some pastry. It's fucking delicious. You just like... do you like meat? Do you like meat and gravy? And do you like delicious shit in some like flaky dough? That's like half of British cuisine. Different kinds of meats, different kinds of sauces, and different kinds of pastries. Just wham them together. It's like, fuck yeah, dude, that sounds delicious. Oh, we had that, you know, typical British cuisine, which was fairly good. I've tinkered around making like meat pies and stuff, so I like some of that. But the actual play was interesting. It was funny. There's a bunch of Atlanteans. And I don't know the demographic of the UK back in the Shakespeare times, but no, it was, you know, basically exactly, you know, the demographic of Atlanta. And everybody was really, really jazzed about it, which I'm glad. You want to see people at a show being like, you know, what do you call it? Interested in what they're doing. Clearly passionate. And they do take chances to, like, you know, update it for the times a little bit. It's not like they're not using the original words of Shakespeare, but they do, like, slightly more modern references and jokes, because it's meant to be funny. We watched a Midsummer Night stream. And I would say majority of Shakespeare stuff is comedic in some fashion. Even the tragedies have comedy in them. So they were doing jokes that was like, yeah. These can be displayed in, like, modern day to some degree. And still work. Oh, it's easy. Hello! Welcome to Mario Kart World. It's this game people have been playing. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's kind of a hidden gem, I might say. It's a little secret. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this game before. It's crazy, you know? Weird series. Must be kind of niche, you know? Probably don't sell very well, but I like it. But no. They were passionate. They did a good job. And when I want to say some jokes was like, oh, why is In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins being referenced ever so slightly by the music? Because someone is supposed to be singing a song in a comedic way. And in my mind, I was like, you know what? They're still using the same words as Shakespeare, but I think it makes sense. If in Shakespeare's time it was meant to be some popular song of the time this person is singing, that wouldn't apply to us now, so choose an equivalent song of the modern era. So the guy chose In the Air Tonight while he's humping, like, a pole. That did happen, by the way. But in a way that made sense for the play. Just to clarify. A little strange. And again, they're saying, you know, they're speaking like Shakespearean English very quickly. So you get the vibe of what's actually happening, but you can miss a lot. But you just kind of get used to it. You know that one star, when you first get the wing cap in Mario 64, and you have to fly around like in a circle, get the red coins? Shit. Ooh, this music. Dun, 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 dun. It's like this music hit me immediately. But it was very fun. For someone who had never seen a Shakespeare play before, I was like, this is enjoyable. I wouldn't mind seeing more. Is there a P switch in the background? I thought I just saw one somewhere else. I would suggest it. If there is any interest whatsoever. And it's fun, and it's comedic, so people were just laughing. The whole crowd was cheering on the ridiculousness of the live performers. But I know that wouldn't be for everyone's taste. It's a very typical Shakespeare comedy where, like, this person is confused for that person, and that person is confused for this person, and, like, roles swapped or switched. That's the shit he loves. Very classic. Fuck you, Luigi. Jumped back in a stream and he played In the Air Tonight and started humping a pole. I'm talking about Shakespeare. That's what you get from watching a Midsummer Night stream at Shakespeare Tavern in Atlanta. Very quality though. 10 out of 10. I would go again. Yeah, that was fun. That's kind of why I didn't stream it today. Which is fine. Again, a lot of people read Shakespeare, but there's a lot of Shakespeare I didn't read. I almost feel not very cultured in some cases because there's some stories of his I'm just not familiar with at all. And you should read things because you enjoy them, and not because you're trying to feel like you need to fit into the culture of the world or whatever. But in terms of, like, literary illusions, you miss out on a lot of shit if you don't know references to important pieces of media. I don't want to say you shouldn't do things like read the Bible, but I read the Bible in English class, or parts of it, because, shocker of all shockers, one of the most important literary, you know, texts of all time is the Bible, and, like, half of every book in the universe fucking references it in some way or another. So if you're like me and you didn't go to church as a kid because you weren't religious, and you're not going to get any of those, and you're going to be like, what the fuck are they talking about? It is helpful for understanding text. Can you play with me? I might open up the later, but for right now, I'm just doing free roam. We'll see later. How long are we streaming? 30 minutes? I might wait. Leroy Jenkins? Leroy Jenkins. How old do you think Leroy Jenkins is? How old is he? How old do you think Leroy Jenkins was at the time? Was that like the Leroy Jenkins video? Was that like 2007? Is that almost 20 years old at this point? When that incident happened? The guy would have been, what, 20, maybe 30? Let's suppose on the higher end he was 30. Now the Leroy Jenkins guy is 50 at this point in time. Around 50. That's crazy. Again, my coworkers who are at work were shocked at the fact that they were like, oh my god, you weren't born in the 90s. He was like, yeah, I wasn't born in the 90s. I was born in the 2000s. I know, that's a scary thought. It's going to be less and less scary as time goes on, but, you know, that mere fact. I had a thought, I was like, man, there's going to be a time in the world where I'm the oldest person in the world. And then I thought to myself, no, that's not guaranteed. Why did I just assume that was going to happen? Like, I'm not guaranteed to, like, people don't just die in linear order of oldest to youngest. It's not like the oldest person in the world dies, then the next person is the oldest and he dies. That's not how it works. People die at any time. I could die tomorrow. For a second there, I was like, in my head, I was like, oh yeah, people die in like a linear order. So when the guy, you know, before me dies, then it's my turn to die. You were born in the 1800s, unthinkable. It's fucking bonkers, dude. What song is this? I'm singing it as if I know what it is, and I do. But I realize I don't. What is this? Clown Motors? Air Systems. I thought it said Clown Oysters. Oh no. Oh no! Almost like Final Destination Rules of Death. What, do you have to die in order? Well, I don't know why that, like, as a kid, I used to think that I would die at 100. I thought that was like an average age. I thought people, oh yeah, people live to like about 100. And I still, in my head, I still kind of feel that way, where it's like, I would be kind of disappointed if I don't live to at least 100 in my head. As if when you're 50, that is like exact middle age. Not that you're getting up there in years. But yeah, I still kind of feel that way a little bit, where it's like, you know, I ought to, you know, be youthful. I'm only like a quarter of the way through my life. No! Again, I think there are aspects of Final Destination that, like, intrigue me, but at the same time, I don't actually want to watch it. It's the same reason I don't really want to watch Saw. There's an intrigue there, and I've seen Saw 1 at the very least, but it's like, you know, it's gross and it's uncomfortable. Listen, there's already subreddits that give me, like, injuries and wounds. I don't need to look at, like, fabricated discussions of people getting, like, their skin ripped off and their nails clipped by, like, a device, and their feet get sucked underneath, like, a, you know, an escalator and shit like that. How's my day been? It's been decent. It's been work. It's been normal. I gotta go in every day because I'm not gonna take days off later in the week. Which is exciting. Is this DK Mom? I think it's probably way worse than how the movie... Probably, but even then, there's still stuff of, like, seeing clips, it's like, oh, I don't like this. Even as a kid, those shit, that freaked me out. I know you wanted to go, and you just ended up going alone, but I didn't want to see it. I just blatantly was like, I don't want to see this, I'm sorry. Some movies I just don't want to see, and that and Final Destination was one of them. What, do I have to hit the fucking flagpole? What do you plan? I'm just going on a trip with some friends. Nothing exciting, but... Or rather, very exciting, but, you know, nothing, like, so significant that people are gonna, like, burst the nurse. Majority of movies I love movies, actually. I don't want to say a majority of movies I don't want to see, because there's a lot of movies that come out, and a lot of them I don't even know about. There's a lot of common movies in theaters that I don't give a shit about. Like, I don't give a shit about seeing the new Jurassic Park movie, for example. I kind of lost almost all interest in Marvel movies, to be honest. Sorry. There's some movies I quite like. It depends. I mean, do you mean out of Hollywood? Well, I mean, you're talking about specifically new movies, but, I mean, majority of movies are out of Hollywood in some kind, even indie studios. And no, I'm not talking about globally, as in, like, oh, what is British cinema like? What's happening in, you know, in Lithuania? What's that Bollywood like? Again, I know people like Bollywood. I've never seen a Bollywood movie. I'll say you're more than a quarter of the way. I know, that's going off the reckoning of I'm going to live to be 100 at least. Hit the fucking flagpole, Luigi! Nope. But I know I'm more than a quarter of the way. Thanks for making me feel fucking old. I already feel old. Every day that passes, every year that passes, and I'm still like, how have I been at work for this many years already outside of college? It feels like it was yesterday. I'm aging. Bollywood is peak cinema. It seems fun. And in some cases, very good. There's good cinema everywhere. There's a lot of good Japanese movies, and a lot of good Korean movies. And not just the violent ones. I mean, there was someone who's talking about, like, why did someone made the question, why did Korea make so many violent movies? And I was like, well, that's, you know, another person made a great point of, like, no, it's not that they make violent movies. It's, why do we only import the violent movies from Korea to America? How come we don't put the other movies that they also make? They have their own styles there in Bollywood. But they got a lot of people. They got their own set of famous... I mean, a lot of countries do. They have their own set of famous actors that we have no idea about. Their own celebrities. That are massive, because India is like the fucking biggest, you know, country in the world. Maybe, yeah, we're about to better science produce our lives. Maybe, but maybe we'll all burn to death. And maybe, I mean, we might be living in the part of time where it's like, things will get better, but like, after we die. It's like, things are going to be on the updraft as soon as we die. And then things will be like, actually, now we're getting significantly better. We finally got through, like, the hurdles that societies have to go through. It's like Foundation. You ever read Foundation? Classic sci-fi novel. Where it's like, yeah, a guy uses vast amounts of data to predict, like, you know, 100,000 years, a million years or more into the future. Saying, like, oh, yeah, the civilization of the world is going to collapse. So I'm going to manipulate the future by doing actions now to make sure we survive certain, like, periods of time dramatically far in the future. So like, oh yeah, this is going to be a period of strife, and based on my calculations, this is going to happen, and when this happens, you should do this. Like, we've got to become like, everybody's going to become like galaxy merchants. But that's important for us to, you know, for the preservation of civilization. It's shit like that, where it's like, yeah, we just periodic tests. We might be in the period of like, oh shit, it's not going to be fruition. It's going to be like a fucking test. Global warming is an apocalypse. I mean, global warming is going to happen no matter what, and it's already happening, and we're already kind of not doomed. I think we're going to be able to live through it. Again, we're not going to be bursting into flames in the street. We might have to have some new wacky technology, like Dune, you know, skin suits to suck up our own piss and turn it into water. But if we have to do that to live, we'll have to do it to live. I'm assuming they get flavor packets too, so we don't just have to drink piss. Shah Rukh Khan is probably like one of the most fans in the world. Yeah, it's someone nobody in America knows about because we're very self-centered, egotistical, and think we know everything about everybody everywhere. Joking, of course, but you know, Americans tend to forget that, like, because we are one of the most, you know, cultural countries in terms of worldwide culture, but not the only one. Hey Yoshi, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, that's Dolphin. You know, there's still a lot of stuff I haven't done. Like, I haven't gotten nearly every costume in this goddamn game yet. Not even close. Like, there's a lot of stuff I can do, not grind out, but like to collect. Which is nice. You get it periodically, right? There's a fucking coin up there. Wait. No. No, fucking like, do the, no. Go straight, man. Yes. Yeah, India's big. Big country. Big country, lots of fucking people. Oh my goodness, there we go. The real reason they even have the rewind is purely for free roam. Like, I think you could have it for Grand Prix for single player, but it's mostly for, like, you're doing something in free roam, you're exploring, and you fucking fall off a cliff. It's like, yeah, get back there. This ain't no Breath of the Wild. You don't have to just die and restart. I love just being on the roof of the castle, though. They should have put a Yoshi up here. There's a little secret. A little funsy, you know? Wait, I saw a fucking thing over there. But yeah, we'll see what happens. If I die, then why die? If he dies, he dies. There's still a lot of stuff I can do first, though. And I'm relatively healthy. There's a lot of people, ignorant people in this daily life who just think that goes on here in this little town equals the world. That's a lot of people. It's hard to get out. I mean, it's hard. If you don't have experience outside the world, I mean, they have a myopic view of the world. I don't want to say they're closed-minded. I'm not. But they just, I mean, I guess ignorant is the same thing, but ignorance is very negative for people who just, if you live in a small town and that's all you know, that's all you know. Am I supposed to get upset at them for not knowing more? You'd think they'd have, like, experience of the internet or something to help guide them these days, but, you know, they don't know, they don't know. Yes. You talk about poor or complete miseducation, you know, I'm not going to ever harsh people for too much. Hopefully people just get the chance to go outside of their own homes and see the world. I'm lucky I moved once or twice. It gives you, you know, a better view of things in general. But not everyone does, and some people live in, like, a town of 20 people, and that's their experience, and the people there are their idea of what people are like. Echo chambers, yeah. Well, social media is definitely not helpful. Luigi, get up there. Mario Kart World is greater than Breath of the Wild. I don't agree. I'm surprised. I thought you were like, I don't think you were negative at Mario Kart, but I thought you were like kind of ambivalent towards it. But I know you just don't like Breath of the Wild, and that's fair. Obviously, I don't agree, because I love Breath of the Wild. The fact that I've been playing it more recently and realizing, man, yeah, I like this. I talked to my sister about Breath of the Wild, because she's someone who's played Breath of the Wild and has now put like 300 hours in Tears of the Kingdom, by the way. Genuinely. There we go. There we go. And she agrees with me in the idea that it fundamentally feels like a different game. Where it's like, yes, they're similar, but she feels the fact that, like, Tears of the Kingdom has stuff in it. It has a lot more stuff in it, but its emphasis on exploring feels different. The world feels different. It doesn't feel like the same things are there. I was like, yeah, I agree. And I don't just think it's nostalgia for the game that I like. I genuinely don't. Beautiful. You probably would like it a lot more. Again, I love Breath of the Wild. I find there's still a plethora of stuff to do, but in Tears of the Kingdom, it's like, you're exploring the world, but it really just leads you to, here's a cave, you go inside, there's some enemies, there's a little stuff, and then there's probably going to be a chest with some armor at the end that does some cool stuff in it. There's a lot more, there's more stuff to collect. You might get armor, you might get a paraglider, you know, upgrade thing, you might get this cool weapon, you might get, like, a collectible of some kind or another. No, I'm happy it feels different. I'm glad that they're different games. But I was thinking about it now. It's like when I played both, and I basically did everything. 100% of Tears of the Kingdom almost, except for the core ups. And I'm realizing that I do like Breath of the Wild more because it felt more about the world, where Tears of the Kingdom felt a little bit less about the world, more about just different things you can do. It fixed some of the stuff I didn't like in Breath of the Wild, or the stuff that I thought was lacking, but also did stuff that made it just feel different. You might like Tears of the Kingdom more, but again, it's not like it's that fundamentally different, where if you just didn't gel with Breath of the Wild, it's still the same gameplay. You have new tools, but it's still, like, not that different in terms of gameplay. I can always lend it to you if you ever want to try it, but... It's also a direct sequel. Again, I had a friend who played Tears of the Kingdom first, and if he ever does play Breath of the Wild, I'm like, I wonder how he's going to take it. Also, the fact that he just missed out on, like, lore and story. Yeah, because I've been going through it a little bit recently, and I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. And I can feel the difference. I love these little tribute. These little tribute races are fucking hard, but I do love these little tribute races. By the way, there's a new, like, a PC port of Super Mario Kart, which I should have just fucking waited until that came out. I didn't realize it was a thing. Before I did my stream of it. But again, it's not like they've added, like, you know, super custom stuff. It's like, oh, better frame rates. It's in HD. It's now fully low, you know, whatever. Maybe I won't. I mean, there's a ROM hack of Super Mario Kart with fixed camera angles, which I think is fucking insane. And apparently it's utter, like, shite to play. But I might do that one day, too. I feel like I had fun with it for a while, but constant traveling and things. I don't know. I guess I just didn't get that. But I don't know. I don't think you find exploring inherently fun. It's like, I just having fun. I'm just going around. I'm always finding, like, an enemy to fight, or a little camp, or a Korok here, or a chest here, or stuff to... or like, oh, there's a mini-boss, there's a Talos here, or a Hinox. Like, I feel like relatively constantly I'm finding stuff. And I'm constantly exploring. And if you don't feel that way, then fair enough, but, I personally felt it was always pretty much engaging. And even now. Maybe I should stream some of it. Maybe tomorrow I might stream myself playing Breath of the Wild. As I have been. Just because I need a game to play. Not much of a revisit, but I had just gotten to a Divine Beast. There's also tons. You also always, like, you go to every little, like, town or thing. You end up getting, like, tons of quests. Even if they're not the most meaningful quests. It's like, yeah, I got a quest, whatever. And now I've got, like, 20 or so. This is so boring. What, Mario Kart? Yeah. Each their own. I do always wonder about watching somebody play Mario Kart, but you never know. If someone watching Mario Kart might be like, oh, fuck this shit. Playing it is different, of course. It mostly depends on how invested you are. Wow, is that fucking Mad Max Waluigi? What the fuck? Dude, there's many people in the world who want to see Waluigi in leather. I'm not saying I'm one of them. I'm just, you know, stating the truth. Whether or not you want to be watching somebody with, like... Listen, I'm making no assessments towards Waluigi's, I guess bikers wear leather. It's not just people interested in very specific things. But there's some ladies who would love Waluigi. There's some ladies who want that Wario, man. Whether or not that's good or not. I mean, canonically, Wario is, like, beloved for some reason. In his own universe. People fucking love Wario. People go, like, hand over foot for Wario. Don't ask me why. I don't know, man. I don't know the guy. Even though he treats people a little bit like shit sometimes. Fuck you, never mind. Actually, no, fuck you, DK. God, I can't wait for Bonanza. Come on, get this challenge done. Come on. Again, these little challenges are fucking difficult. I mean, they're not the hardest thing in the world, but they're, like, pretty hard, man. There's very little room for error. If you make a mistake, and if you're not constantly drifting and grinding and drifting and grinding. See, 0.6x7. You really have a fucking tight thing. Tears Kingdom feels very max bag to me because it simultaneously managed to improve on many things, but also managed to feel a ton of missed potential. Also benefits from the player having played Breath of the Wild, but it feels a retread of the world with new mechanics that are more designed around skipping. Yes, that's the one thing. Where it's like, I feel like there is no incentive to explore the world in Tears of the Kingdom. Even though it is different, and a lot of the parts of the world do seem different. Oh shit, I just turned on, like, Kirkhope music for some reason. But it felt like, it's almost like I don't want to do that. It kind of lumps you, and I almost feel like it's because it gives you more explicit incentives. It's like, oh, when you explore areas, you want to go explore caves. And then go to the depths, and then go to the sky. Not really spend much time on the actual world, excepting in certain important locations. We're getting all of the shrines. I still feel like I didn't really explore the world itself very much. With Breath of the Wild, I feel more like, oh yeah, I'm going to these what's in this little backwoods of this corner of the map? Oh, this is interesting. What's over here? You know, that's where I feel more like it's like, oh yeah, there's just shit everywhere. It's like, what's going on? What's this wacky little corner of nowhere? And that's quite fun. And I don't know if at this point I don't know if Tears of the Kingdom is better. I do think it is just different. I think aspects of it are better for certain people. And I love both, so I can't criticize either. I mean, we talk again. This is a fucking argument. This is a discussion we've had like multiple times. You felt incentives and rewarded for what I explored. Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild? I mean, I feel that way for both. I felt like later on in Breath of the Wild, I haven't felt that way yet while playing it, but later on in the game, I think I had the feeling of like I kind of wish there was one more collectible. It's like, oh, well, you know, I'm fighting enemy camps, and I'm getting weapons and items and stuff, which is good. And I do think the fact that things collect, like you have to like, you're always running out of arrows, and you're always, you know, you want good weapons and stuff. But it's like it is rewarding to go fight enemy camps and things, because you get stuff. I don't mind the idea of weapons as a kind of a currency, because you're never gonna run out. I always have weapons. There are times when I get low, and then it's like, oh shit, I'm using like the shit weapons now. And then I'm like, oh, okay, let me seek out an enemy camp and get some stuff. And that's quite fun. There are times when I'm looking for people to fight because I can get them and restock up on stuff. And then while I'm exploring the back areas, I find a chest or something, or I find just a sword and a stone with a good weapon. It's like, ooh, why is there a fucking like a samurai sword on top of this mountain in a stone? And that feels good. I like the weapon breaking. I feel like it's essential to the experience of Breath of the Wild. It just wouldn't feel the same if the weapons didn't break. You'd have to rework almost everything in terms of like motivation and mechanics and the way the gameplay works, the way the world is designed, and the stuff you collect. Like it wouldn't feel the same if it was like a Skyrim where you just pick up like infinite weapons of any kind and they never broke. Biggest missed potential is the depths. Main biome is so alien. Oh yeah, it's just like, it's a little, okay. There are some things in the depths that are different from others. It's mostly the same, but there's like little areas of differences. I like the fact that if you have landmarks above the map, that you find corresponding landmarks below it. Like if you go like below Arbiter's grounds in the Gerudo area, you find like this weird like creepy area full of graves. It's like this shit like in Ghosts. Coliseums. I like the synchronicity if you look up and you look down. But they didn't want to make it like a full second world, because that would be too big. I think they wanted it more to be like, oh, there's stuff here. You don't have to explore it so deeply. But there's still, I know, I like the depths. I ended up doing every light route. And I like going to the Yiga camps underground. And not because of resources, although that's part of it. I got them because they had blueprints. Not the game, blueprints for like auto build. And I was like, ooh, what invention do they have for me? I think that was like a good thing for me to get, because they're not like the ones you save, they're permanent. So I would be like, okay, I want more of these blueprints, because I want to be able to make new wacky fucking freak inventions. And every single one of those Yiga places typically has one. And there's tons of them. There's a lot of them. So for me, that was always rewarding, because you never know what kind of weird invention they might have in there that you could then just create whenever you want to. Obviously, you could theoretically make any of those yourself just by knowing what it is, but it's easier to just have it there. And, you know, the creativity of what they have that you probably just didn't consider. Going to shrines is kind of repetitive. I don't disagree with that necessarily. I do think all the shrines should be different. There's fighting shrines, there's puzzle shrines. There's just basic ones. They're all different. Some are short, some are longer. None are that long. But there are times when it's like, I'm in the world, I'd rather explore the world. I'll activate a shrine and come back for it later. There are other times when I'm really into the shrines. But they are all different. I started being like, oh, I could do the shrine later, but it will take me at max 5 minutes. And I'm never not having fun in the shrines. Aside from the battle shrines, where it's like, oh, you fight a guy, and there's a couple of those in Breath of the Wild. Those are, identical every time. Those aren't like the whatever. Those are just like whatever. Every other one's pretty unique, pretty distinct. Some are amazingly difficult. I think the first time there's a shrine in Breath of the Wild. There's a set of 2 shrines in Breath of the Wild that rely on you going to the other shrine taking a photo of what's in that shrine, going to a different shrine, using that photo to figure out the other shrine, and then vice versa. Which is fucking incredibly clever. And there's stuff like that. Or there's stuff that are like mini dungeons. You have to go through this, fight a key, fight some enemies, do some stuff, to loop back around and go to the exit. And there's always hidden chests. Sometimes, they don't tell you which ones, but sometimes certain chests in certain shrines will have like really good armor that you can't get anywhere else. Like, oh yeah, this makes you climb faster. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? And there oftentimes might be good chests with good weapons in shrines. I like shrines. There are times when it's like, oh, I've come across so many of them, I just want to explore for right now. But you can always activate them and then just come back later. Once you feel like, oh, I want to do a shrine, or I need more health, or whatever. You can get a surprise. So as long as you get to the shrine, then you're kind of good. You can always just, then at that point, you can teleport and do it whenever. And yeah, there are a lot. It's to scratch that itch of like a little bit of a dungeon, a little bit of a puzzle, a little bit of a challenge, that kind of stuff you typically see in Zelda, in a bit more bite-sized format, depending on the shrine, which is nice. They have the Divine Beasts, and I quite like those too. But this gives you a little bit of that more straight-up linear challenge that you might expect from another Zelda game. But yeah, even me, there are times where it's like, I don't feel like doing this right now, I'll do it later. I was busy exploring or getting a horse or going to this fucking stable or whatever I was doing. Getting horses. Come on! Concept of main worlds are really neat, but I felt like they could have matched the regions. I mean, fair enough. I know they did things where you would have water, they just have endless pits, so you can't cross it, or like walls, I guess. That would have been cooler. That would have been more aesthetic than anything else. Still would have been neat, but I will say, I don't think they did hype up the Zonai stuff for Tears of the Kingdom. They mentioned the Zonai in one trailer. I don't know how everybody in the fucking universe knew about Zonai before the game came out. Because there's one instance of the word Zonai being mentioned at all in Breath of the Wild. And then people came up with like 4 hours of lore about these based on the ruins. A lot of them are right somehow, but it's like, you know, this very niche thing that people like brought into lore. Or something like that. Again, nobody who makes the actual games at Nintendo really gives a shit about supplemental material. It's the same people who are like, oh, we gotta stick to the timeline. Nintendo's like, what the fuck are you talking about? But it's like, I had no idea what the fuck people were talking about. That was nothing to do with anything in Breath of the Wild at all. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. It's neat, I guess. I can't say I was loving the lore in Tears of the Kingdom at all. I was like, it's fine. You got these creatures. They talk about the whole imprisoning war, and I was like, is that really it? That's all it is? It's not even like, not that I wanted like a war against like humans, Gerudo versus people, but it was just like, oh yeah, Ganon summoned some monsters. The same monsters we've been fighting, and that's the war. We didn't see the war, we just saw like 5 people fight 5 other people. It's like, that's it? That was your war? In hindsight, I kind of feel like I might like aspects of the Breath of the Wild story better. Despite the fact that the stuff you do in Tears of the Kingdom is more directly tied to what's going on in the moment in some cases, and not always tied to what's going on in the past in terms of like 100 years ago and getting your memories back. Which isn't necessarily true. You're still involved. I mean, the level of interaction is both. I feel like there's still like the main through line in every area of the game Breath of the Wild is all about Link and getting his memories back and learning what happened in the past. And this through line of learning about that, learning about what happened, and seeing the characters. Where in Tears of the Kingdom, it's more like you get 4 random events. You go to each town, they all have their own like little strife of, you know, more to less seriousness. And then you kind of just like do it, and you help these people with like their sundried and assorted problems. On your search for Zelda. It's like, oh, we're Zelda, can't find her. Let's just, like, clear the goop. Okay. We cleared the goop, we're good. My friend got married. That's cool. Cool. These guys are getting like drug addicted. That's neat. It's like, well, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. Just random stuff happens, and then after you do 4 arbitrary things, and you essentially just wasted time. Like, that's really what it goes down to. So you basically, like, do random stuff, and you turn up the Pura and say, yeah, I didn't find anything. It's like, oh, man, that sucks. Then the plot kicks in to where you see Zelda somewhere, and you gotta do something. Like, that's basically what happens. I'm not saying it's bad, but somehow it actually felt less, like, more disconnected from what's going on than Breath of the Wild did, even though Breath of the Wild's issue was that everything had already happened. I think I'm also just getting more aspects of Breath of the Wild more in terms of, like, its story can hit. Some of its characters can hit a bit more than I remembered. And they have little bits of dialogue, but it can be effective. It helps that I liked all of the champions of Breath of the Wild more. The old champions than I like any of the new guys in Tears of the Kingdom. Like, significantly. Even with more time, I still feel like the old champions were, like, just more interesting. Sorry, I know, listen, someone brought it up on purpose, probably, to gouge me into speaking about it, but, listen, I'm opinionated. Only what reason to refuse to buy a Switch 2 is your book? That's a good reason. Again, if there's not, like, one main... if you really want Mario Kart, then I'm sorry. But you can always get it later. Mario Kart will still be there. It's like Toby Fox said, Deltarune is waiting. I want to talk... I have not mentioned this once when I played Deltarune. I want to talk about how the trailer in the Switch 2 about Deltarune, where it's like, Deltarune, Chapter 1 is waiting. Chapter 2 is waiting. Chapter 3 is waiting. Chapter 4 is waiting. Deltarune is waiting. Which also ties into the ending of Chapter 4, by the way. But also, it was like, that was such a fucking good trailer. That was such a fucking great trailer. Also, who the fuck is drifting in the fucking canyon, whatever? It's waiting for you. It's like, God, that's so good, Toby Fox. But I was like, because I just did, like, the Divine Beasts. Well, one of them. I just did, like, this? Oh, yeah, this is me fucking wrecking a Guardian. Idiot. Break your leg. Break your leg. Break your leg. No Master Sword for me, bitch. Break your leg. Break your leg. Break your leg. Eat shit. That was fun. But no, there was like... the whole cutscene with Rivali.
After all these years, I simply must admit the truth. Even without the power of flight, Link made his way to this divine beast and accomplished something that even I could not. Guess I was wrong about how lucky. I hope that luck holds out, Link, for everyone.
That's such a good... that's such... I love that. Actually, I really like the writing of all the champions in this game. Even Rivali. You know, he doesn't respect Link, but then he does. Oh yeah, that's when I was like, I broke a rock and I got like fucking 50 things. There it is. I love it. No, and he's like, he has depth to him. Rivali has depth. He's not just like... because he's not just snarky at Link. He's abjectly angry at him. He's genuinely angry at Link. He's pissed. Oh, I use the video function on the Switch all the fucking... dude, it's been on Switch 1. I use this function all the time to save clips of shit. I get Topaz and a Diamond. Then look at all the stuff I just got. And that's like a 2,000 rupees right there. You know, because you know Rivali means what he says. He does. He's actually not proud of Link, but he has to admit that Link could do what he didn't think he could, but he pretends he's holding back, which is very funny. It's very like him. And then he says, I hope that luck holds out. He means well. Oh yeah, this freak. That was the guy humping the pole at the Shakespeare concert. Ultimate Tsundere. Also, this was like, man, I love this. You just talk to this guy. You say like the simplest sentences. You talk to a guy, which you could miss out on so easily if you just don't talk to this dude at all. You just miss out talking to this guy. But I love this quest. I forgot how good this quest was. Then you just have the music play and he walks away. What a good start to a quest. I loved it. I don't know if I liked Hudson as much in the sequel, but I thought it was very good here. Sorry, I'm just reading stuff. Oh, yeah, this is something. Sorry, now I'm just showing clips I have. But this was something in the Switch 1 version. It's still here. There's a certain part of this game that removes the cell shading. If you go to this exact spot in the game, it removes the cell shading on Link. So you can see the model without the shading on it. Which looks a lot like Twilight Princess, to be honest. It's never been patched. It was still in you know, it's not like new. This has always been in the game. But I think it's so fascinating. I wish it was better lit. I probably should have waited till it was like daytime. Oh, there's so many good clips here. Like I said, there's so many good clips here. Yeah, the clip function in Switch is fantastic. I always liked it.
How can you know what I don't know?
I don't know, man. How can you know what I don't know? It's a good question. It's good. It's honestly just great to look back at on stuff. I don't know why I saved this clip. Why did I do this? Oh, I know why. Because that was carryover from this one. I think I broke the game at some point. I don't remember how. No idea. But like, yeah, it's great. Sorry, I know we should be going back to Mario Kart, but now I'm just having fun looking at what I've played. What the fuck is this? Oh, it's Astral Chain. There's Pikmin. Here's when I played Mario RPG. A lot of these are on stream, actually. My Island. Oh, this would be Tears of the Kingdom, actually. I love how the quality in the video is worse, because this was taken on Switch 1. Oh, that's when the game froze. Which I guess it probably doesn't do anymore, but... yeah, every time I beat a game, I always take the screenshot of the end. Just because it feels like the right thing to do. Oh, here's day one, Breath of the Wild. Here's day one of Tears of the Kingdom. I wish I had the stream of day... I do have the stream of day one of Tears of the Kingdom. I wish I had the last stream of Tears of the Kingdom. I did. That one is lost. I had this ingenious idea. Listen, it was brilliant. It worked amazingly. It was such a good plan. That worked so fucking well, alright? There was no issues with my strategy there. I'm just saying. Oh, that's when I was playing Bayonetta. That was evidently by accident. This was a good game. Fucking difficult game, but that was a good game. No, I don't want to delete this.
Gungaga.
Yeah, this was a good clip to save.
Me? Gungaga.
That was quality. Also, this one.
What's this icky
Just in case I need to whip these out, you know? Okay, there's a shirtless Shulk in space. Sorry. Okay, now I gotta stop, alright? I've been... That's enough wasting time. But anyways, yeah, they're different. I like Breath of the Wild, I like Tears of the Kingdom. They're both good games. They're very enjoyable and, in different ways. And going through Breath of the Wild again, replaying it, is making me notice that more than I had. Since I hadn't touched Breath of the Wild in, like, you know, since it... I guess a year or two after it launched, however long it took me to stop playing the game in any real capacity. Oh. No! What are you doing? I know technically I've beaten Mario 1 on stream. Literally, honestly, you see me beat Mario 1 on stream because I did it on Nintendo World Championships, which makes you beat the entire game. But I feel like I should still play Mario 1 on stream in some fashion, to have it like as a separate thing. Because at some point I do want to stream every Mario game. Mainline, at least. And I haven't done 3, I haven't done 2, I haven't done World. The only one I've actually done is probably Wonder. And I guess 1. No. We're talking about Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to mention I prefer the actual diversity in weapons. I was actually going to... Was it Mario Deluxe? Is that the Game Boy one? Or is Mario Select? Whatever one that is like the Game Boy version of Mario 1 that looks identical, but you just can't see as far. So the levels are slightly different. And they have like... There's a... You know, now like... That might be the one I'm thinking of. That's probably the one I would play. I kind of agree with the fact that I kind of just like having weapons. I don't always have to muck with, like, fusing my stuff. It's a cool idea. But in the day, it's like, yeah, I mean, you collect weapons and you slowly get better ones over time. And the longer you play the game and the more you fight, you're ending up with, like, a really good set of cool weapons. It is the one I'm thinking it's the one I'm thinking it is. With tons of extra stuff, and it's, like, for me, it's, like, often forgotten about. Is it on NSO? I could emulate it if it's not, but that's probably the one I would play. That's the one I was thinking of. Oh, no. And then just Mario 2. Again, there's multiple versions of Mario 2. The Game Boy Advance versions of Mario 2 are different. They have, like, different mechanics. They have, like, the big turnips and the things that might move up and down. Not significant, but enough to be like, oh yeah, this is just, like, you'll get a slightly different experience playing this one. What are you doing? What are you doing, the fucking Luigi? This is difficult. And then 3, I could just play 3. I would just play regular 3. And same with World. Yeah, there's All-Stars version, Lost Levels. I've never beaten Lost Levels. Well, actually, I might have beaten Lost Levels, again, because of Nintendo World Championships Classic Edition, or whatever the fuck it is. But I don't hate Mario Lost Levels, but it's not one I'm as familiar with. I know, like, a couple levels maybe, and that won't be about it. And even that might be forgotten about. I mean, I've beaten Metroid 1 on stream. I won another game. A game I played as a kid but never finished was Metroid 2. I got, like, halfway through. I know. Song of my fucking life. But I like Metroid 2. I just anticipate, like, you can get lost easily. I have to be ready to go all the way through it. Maybe just because I'm lazy and lacking creativity, but Tears can throw any base weapons at you. Just sticking enemy horns and other stuff. I mean, that's just laziness, but I mean, I would still just drop a horn or something. But at the same time, it's not like you're not being like... I don't know if it begets much creativity, because you just get like, oh, I got like a bunch of good horns. Just slap that on some shit and you're good to go. Mario 2 oh, I love Mario 2. I might like Mario 2 more than Mario 1. Actually, I probably do like Mario 2 more than Mario 1. That's not even a probably. That's like a guaranteed. I like the music in Mario 2 over Mario. You know what? I don't know. That's actually hard to say. Fucking Toad. First of all, I'm going to say I like the music in Mario 2 over Mario 1, I think. I know Mario 1 is the classic music, and maybe that's why I'm just too used to it. I love Mario 2's soundtrack. Even though it's like the same amount of songs, like 3 songs or whatever. I think it's great. The world is fun. The levels, I mean... get a little bit samey, but to be fair, Mario 1 does get a bit samey too. Although, to be fair, Mario 1, it is shocking how well each level does feel distinct. To the point of like, oh, I remember this is 1, 2, this is 4. You know, I remember these levels. And they're both still platformers. Again, 3 beats out both of them, in my mind. And in my mind, I still like 3 over World. Although I know that's like a contentious thing. Where people... That's the typical debate. What is better, Mario 3 or Mario World? And they're both good. I like 3 because it has shorter levels. But World does feel more expansive, and I get why people would say it's better. There we go, baby! When you fuse together 2 each weapon to get weapons even close to basic weapons. I guess that's true. They've delayed things to then kind of somewhat artificially make it so you have to use this mechanic. I don't hate the fuse mechanic in Tears of the Kingdom, but I didn't love it. Fuse and linear. What are you talking about? Oh, Mario 1. Oh, did I mention linearity with either one? Sorry. Slightly less than... I mean, I don't care about the linearity in either one. They're both just good. Gameplay is just different, and the level design is different. That makes the biggest difference, and the part of me feels like I might think that, in general, there's a certain point where the level design in 2 becomes kind of a bit like samey. And it can do in 1, but I think a little less so. Speaking of fucking, Mario 2. I don't want to see that face so badly. Beautiful. Really engaged with the whole crafting mechanic. Well, I mean, the crafting mechanic was fun. I like that. There were times when I used that for certain bosses, like the Octorok boss, to great effect. I think more is one of the right, with 2 isn't running. That's true. If you're talking about actual level design, that's definitely true at a certain... But again, I get the feel... I think later on in the game, it's like, oh, yeah, I've just kind of seen this stuff before. But initially, it feels like each level is kind of pretty distinct. And Mario 1 is like, yes, go from left to right. But I still say that each... Kind of crazy how much each... And maybe it's because I just played it enough. So maybe it's not that much, but it's like, yeah. I can recognize 4, 2. You give me a random... I might not be able to name what the number of each level is, but I could remember it distinctly once it comes up. Being like, yeah, this is different. Well, there is a lot of games where each level kind of just feels like the same. Doesn't really feel that distinct. Like, this is the level with the Pokies, this is the level with these guys, I remember this. It's very good level design. It's very well thought out for what it is. For Mario 1. I don't know, they're both good and they're both different. That's always what it comes down to, is they're different games. Yeah, those would be fun to play. Like, why waste time, effort, and zoning devices building some giant battle mech? I mean, you can say the same thing about... Okay, I have issues. I mean, I do have issues with Breath of the Wild that weren't addressed in Tears of the Kingdom. It's funny... I know we're still talking about Zelda, and we shouldn't stop. We're not even playing Zelda right now. We should stop talking about Zelda. But I'll mention one thing is honestly, my biggest issue with the mechanics of Breath of the Wild is healing. Because you can pause the game and heal yourself to max at any time. The full. Whether you eat 50 apples or you just stock up on food. I know they tried to minimize that with Gloom, which helped, but like, in my mind, you shouldn't just be able to pause and heal. Either maybe like some games you can't maybe you can't pause while you're doing it, or maybe if you heal, it's a regen thing, so you still have to wait for your health to come back. My thought was maybe just do regen, and maybe the max amount of regens and maybe the speed of regens might change depending on how good an item is to make it more effective. But you can't just heal. You can't just like tank a hit with it. That was my thought. I feel like that would have been a better balance, because then you still have to fucking play the game. You can't just, like, play like shit, but have enough items to come over it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they wanted the flexibility of being like, oh, you don't have to be good at the game. You can just stock up on items and carry your way through. Maybe that was the thought process, but... That was honestly my only issue with Zelda, I think, for the gameplay, was that. One of them isn't a Mario game. Here, okay, I will say about the Mario 2 thing about not being Mario's Doki Doki Panic. I mean, they basically, at this point, treat it like Mario. They take a lot of influence from that game, from its mechanics, and from, like, having Shy Guys and shit like that, which a lot of those originate from Doki Doki Panic. It was still made by the same Mario people. And again, they eventually re-released it in Japan as Mario USA. So in my mind, it's like they basically treat this as like a Mario game, even if it's not really, you know, quote-unquote, not really a Mario game. I think it still counts. It's stuck in legacy as a Mario game at this point, so it's like, yeah. Used to be, and it probably still is a bit of a black sheep in the series, but I think it still counts. Regardless of its starting out as. What? The healing is being so strong feels like they designed it around realizing how easy it is to die and wanted that as the easy out, I guess. But it really affects, in my mind, like I'm sure weapons help a lot, but it just makes the game, like, too easy. In my mind. Yo, get up there. Get up there, fucking Luigi. Once. I didn't say it wasn't a reskin game. I just said it counts as a Mario game. Not that Doki Doki is a series. So at this point, I say it's more a Mario game than it is Doki Doki Panic. And generally accepted as such. But yeah, it started out as a different game. God damn it. And I will say, Tears of the Kingdom, you get more... Sorry, I'm talking about it. We could be talking about Mario Kart. Again, that's the point of this game, though. This Mario Kart in this mode is like, yeah, you just chill. You do challenges. Have fun! You have fun! You play the game and you have fun. Do some challenges. Chill. Put on an audiobook or whatever. Watch people play the whole... Why the fuck is everybody's playing the fucking horse girl game? Everybody on Twitch is like, I'm gonna play Uma Musume, the game where it's like a horse racing. You're training up horses, but the horses are anime girls. They're horse girls though, but they're girls, but they're horses. It's like, what the fuck? Why? What? Like, this is not a new game. Why is it blown up in popularity recently? Oh, you fucker! I don't understand it. There's a part of me that's like, maybe I download this, and I was like, no, I don't want to play this. This is a typical gacha game. How typical is it? Very. And in my mind, I was like, listen. Damn. Hate the horse game. I don't even. I genuinely don't. But I'm like, why? What sparked this trend in people? You know. I guess Breath of the Wild is more about I can heal damage, more about how much damage you can take. And again, there's a lot of stuff to upgrade you in the game of Breath of the Wild, just naturally, which I quite like. Big thing is armor. Invariably, the more you explore and the more you go out, you will get armor, you get better armor, and you can upgrade your armor. And that makes a huge difference in fights. But again, you can just make 1,000 potions. And or tons and tons of food and not worry about it too much. Same way as you're also going to get more hearts, which will make a difference. So I feel like they didn't need food as a balancing thing. Because as the game gets easier over time for other reasons. But the food just trivializes everything. The big streamers playing it doing this fun. No. Actually, no. They were playing it of their own free will. Northern Lion played it. Vine Sauce, Jabroni Mike, Mark Skeleton, Joel. Limes. Tons of VTubers playing it because, of course. But this game came out in 2021. There was no advertisements. There's no sponsorships. It was just people who just picked it up. Streamers played it because other streamers played it. And other streamers played it because other streamers played it. But why did people start playing it? Why was Northern Lion playing it? Blue Archive appeared in stream, and no one I follow was playing it. Yes, it came out a while ago. It's like one of the biggest gacha games in Japan, because people love racing horse girls that are actually just real girls. They're just girls, but they're running absurdly fast around what appears to be a horse track while people are betting on them, and the Yakuza's gonna fucking break your knees if you don't pay their debt properly because your horse didn't run quickly enough because she was too busy, having, school time adventures and not enough time training on the fucking racetrack. All your yen gone. I think it's already been out. I'm pretty sure it's already been out for a while. I might be wrong, but I mean that happens. Like Among Us, and maybe I am wrong. Maybe there was a specific reason that I'm missing out on. But Among Us came out, and it didn't get popular for 3 years afterwards or 4 years afterwards until someone played it and it blew up and other people played it and it became the big thing. But it wasn't an instant hit. It took a couple years, and then something caused it to get into the zeitgeist of people again. Or not even again, but for the first time. But I keep meaning to switch off a Luigi, and I keep forgetting. Oh, that's what you mean by trick off the fucking... Oh, no! Where am I going? I don't even know what Blue Archive is, which tells you a lot about my education. Yeah, I'm curious. I think everyone's, by the way, not that we need more stuff to look forward to, but I think everyone is expecting some kind of Nintendo Direct within a month. If not in July, maybe August, or maybe they'll wait. But we kind of need to know a bit more about what's coming out this year. I would say maybe after Bonanza comes out, then they can afford to be like, okay, we got new shit coming. Because what do we have this year? Pokemon? We have apparently Riders is coming out this year. I think Metroid Prime 4 is still slated for this year. We still need a bit more information about some games that are coming out and new stuff to look forward to next year. It feels like it's around the time... people were already expecting a Direct. Uprising. Here's a question. Would you still want Uprising port? I guess you probably would, even if it wasn't made by Sakurai. If you would trust... Wind Waker? Wind Waker? Wind Waker? WW. How do you fucking, trick off a fucking cacti? Or are you talking about Uma Musume? I mean, but still, it's also all these streamers that aren't talking about, who don't play this kind of game playing this for some reason. It's not even that it just came out, but also it's I don't know, maybe it just became a meme. Because people can't fathom horse girls. You're taking on Sakurai for it. I don't know, there's been some bad ports recently, but I guess if anything is better than nothing. I don't expect that to happen, though. You fucker. I'm gonna call my insurance agent right now. But again, I think people would have already expected a Direct. I think people had expected it basically as soon as the Switch launched. Being like, okay, the Switch is out now, let's get a Direct. Pretty soon after the Switch launched. And the fact that we haven't got one yet is, I think, actually surprising to some people. So at this point, people are just anticipating one in general. Because we need to set up the next year or so, the next couple months of what's coming. Nope. Oh no, not gonna make it. Worst Game Worldwide was 2 weeks ago. Meme silly, hype moments, and love waifu. I mean, I thought about it. It's a game that would be fun to stream, but what would I say that no one else would say? Haha, they're horses, they're running, they're funny. I could send them to the glue factory jokes like everyone else does. What could I possibly say about Uma Musume? I certainly think we won't get a Direct till September. We might not, but I would be surprised. Because there is a huge gap. And it's a new console. They need to make sure that people know that there are games coming out. And a lot of people bought this system and only have Mario Kart World. They're about to have Bonanza out. And there's other games too. A lot of people picked up stuff like Cyberpunk and other games that they like that aren't Nintendo-based, but I almost feel like it would be a because that's what the Switch did very well with the Switch 1 is they set up very quickly within the first year, within the first after the first 2 months of the Switch 1 coming out was E3, and that E3 set up 7 big games, including games that haven't come out yet. Metroid Prime 4. That was such a good big thing for the Switch 1. It's like, yep, you just had this console launch. Now here's a direct. Here's yeah, you want these games? Here they fucking go. We got Kirby, we got Yoshi, we got Mario, we got the fucking Metroid Prime. You know what else we fucking got? We're announcing Pokemon's coming. Pokemon's coming too. Especially just, yeah. So I feel like it has to come at some point. Maybe it's later than I expect, but whatever next Direct happens, I feel like it has to set up that, yeah, we're doing some good shit for this next year or two. Switch has games. But it's such a meme, but it's true. That was a big reason of the Switch's success is they weren't lackluster, which people felt like they were for the Wii U era. It's like they didn't have that many games. Their output wasn't great. They had good games, but it took kind of a while for it to establish. And because of lackluster third-party support, that impacted things. Obviously, they have better third-party support, but people still want Nintendo systems for Nintendo games. Yeah, we need Metroid Prime, we need ZA. Not that we already know we released it with ZA, but we need a bit more information on it, I think, even now. Dragon Drive. I mean, yeah, it might just be the thing that I used to theorize, that they're slowly getting rid of directs and just giving people information in just trailers, which they've done in the past with games like Origami King. And if so, fair enough. We've already had some announcements that have happened outside of an actual direct that have been surprising. That you would have figured would have been in a direct. Which is why some people speculated that we were meant to get one, but one or the other thing kind of missed out, and so we just didn't. Like the whole Splatoon 3 thing where they announced Splatoon Raiders and in the update to Splatoon 3, and I was like, what? This should have been in a direct. Same thing with the DK showcase. It's like, yeah, it probably would have been announced in a direct too. Yeah, yes, a lot of people are waiting for Switch 2 to have more stuff. There's someone who just hasn't bought Switch 2 until Bonanza comes out. He's like, I like Mario Kart, but I'll wait till the game I want comes out. Most people act that way. It's like, what's this thing that's going to sell them? My sister's going to be like, once Animal Crossing comes to Switch, she'll get a Switch 2. Then she'll have to. I know, she could get one sooner, but... Fuck it, just go this way. Luigi? You fucker. I love a July Direct, but I thought June was the month and September happened so often. It's true. It's true. Mini Wario Land. I mean, I just want Wario Land 2 and 3. 3's on there, right? 3's on there and 4's on there. I want Wario Land 2. Because I want to play it in order. I want to play Wario Land 2. It's not on there yet. Some of the highly praised Switch games came from Wii U. Yeah. Wii U didn't have a bad library. It just took a long time for it to happen. Way after the launch. It was slow going. First-party games that were great. Advertising and name were dog shit. And again, I would say Switch had probably a bigger output than Wii U did. Undoubtedly. And who knows what they'll finally bring to Switch to. Maybe Star Fox. If it's not completely dead. I mean, it's weird that they seem like F-Zero is not completely dead anymore, and they're slowly ramping up F-Zero. Bowling. But we'd have to see. They're gonna bring back Star Fox, and if they're gonna do anything actually interesting with it. Again, Miyamoto and all of his IPs, he doesn't work on games anymore, pretty much at all. He just doesn't work on games anymore. So we'll see what Star Fox is without Miyamoto. At some point, I might stream Star Fox Zero. I do own it. Crack out the old Wii U and play it, but I'd rather play 64 first. Which concept as a hybrid console was so simple. Oh yeah, it was a great idea. And immediately I was like, this is ingenious. I love this. I was so excited for it. And it's still appealing. I think anyone who played it originally probably still feels like they want a future console with that same idea in it. My sister does, or she can just play it like on the go or at work or at her desk or on the couch while they're watching TV. having it being portable. Portable consoles have always been very accessible to people. Portable consoles typically, depending, can sell well. So the Switch being ostensibly a portable console is a beneficial thing. And that's why there's like, Xbox has their portable console now, and the Steam Deck and the Lexico, whatever the fuck it's called. Like all the other companies are still and now doing that a lot. Nintendo's not the only one in the market anymore. But it's still a thing of it appeals to people. You barely use it portably. That's fair, not everyone does. I do a decent amount. Oh, come on. You still missed the Wii Breath of the Wild got gimped. Yeah, there's a lot of features that just didn't happen in Breath of the Wild Wii U that were there and they took them away. You look at early trailers of Breath of the Wild shown on the Wii U and it's like, yeah, this feature just isn't in the game anymore. They actually got rid of it completely. Not even that they just adapted it differently. They actually got rid of certain things, which is interesting. Which is sad. I don't remember. I'd have to look at some of the old trailers. With some of the stuff when it's like, oh yeah, here's like, a camera showing Miyamoto and Aonuma playing on a TV. And you get to look at the TV. Oh, that's bad. Like selecting certain things, and there's certain things you can do with the camera. It's hard to remember, but there was some neat, weird little stuff. And ways of tracking stuff. Some of which I think you can now do just with the Zelda Notes app on the Switch. On the phone. Yeah, baby, that was a slick-ass thing. Train! Yo, go for it. Go, what are you doing? What are you doing, Luigi? Nice. And I'm not just talking about the map in the inventory on the screen. I'm actually talking about more than that. There was other stuff too. Like actual features. Who have I not been? I don't want to be a fucking child. Toad? Do I want to be the Toad Warrior? God, look at all these fucking cars. God, I don't know which one's good. There's too many. Too many vehicles. I've heard Toad's actually pretty good. Again, all the characters have stats in this game. They just don't tell you what they are. So if you're not playing well, just switch characters. You might find out you're doing better.
Oh boy! I'm Toad! Go!
Wait a fucking second. I see that. I thought I'd gotten that. Did I not get that? I've been over here before, but how did I miss that so fucking obvious? There we go. Easy. Beautiful. Now what's up here? This area you would never go through ever. Hey Yoshi, just going around the halls of Shy Guy Palace? Whatever the fuck we are. Oh, that's right. There were like the 3 challenges here. Forgot I did that. I probably have to look a little deeper now for some of these challenges because I've been to, hey, there's Revio. I've been to all the obvious ones. But there's still stuff in here I haven't found, which is crazy. There's one. Jet Force Gemini Yoda Alien. Yeah. Game I'm never gonna play. Why do I fucking do this? Oh my god. Explorer Toad. Nice. Easy, baby. I was gonna do some tour, but I got distracted telling stories and talking about stupid shit that I just played this entire time. Which is fair enough. Hey, Chugger. Some people using some special phone holders so to switch to the Joy-Con. Oh, for the Zelda Notes app. I mean, it's a little weird that it's on the app. They could have just not done that, but they want to make the app useful. And it's a way of doing it without directly, like, updating the game itself. To add, like, a new icon. Like, it's easier to just make a different app for it and connect it than having to, like, objectively update the game and add new sound files and make people download, like, you know, a gigabyte of data to get the sound files in there and stuff for this specific thing. I get why they didn't do it, but it's still annoying. And it also leverages the idea of, oh, now the app is more useful. But yes, it's more like, oh man, I was listening to stuff and now I have to like keep the app on. It is useful though, because you can just track shit. Not even just like Zelda's, you know, infographics about, you know, her diary. But, alright, one more thing, very specific thing that I want to mention about Breath of the Wild versus Tears of the Kingdom. You have the memories of Zelda. In Tears of the Kingdom, there's no effort in finding them. They're just there. You just see a giant, like, hieroglyph in the ground, and that's where you go. Hieroglyphs are cool, but you just go there, and you'll find them very quickly. Which, again, goes to the ethos of Tears of the Kingdom being, there are things for you to like, big, obvious places for you to interact with and do stuff with. And you do the thing, you go to a cave, whatever. Versus Breath of the Wild, where they just give you an image that was taken via a camera, and you have to explore the world and find where that was taken. Just by using your knowledge of the places you've explored and landmarks to find where the photo was taken. And if you can find the exact spot, you get a memory. That's obviously harder, but more rewarding and kind of more cool. It's like, I like the big hieroglyphics, but there's not really much of a challenge there. If you go to an area, you'll find it because they're fucking massive. And once you're there, it's like you got it. You just got it. Artist, you know I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is trash. I wouldn't have done the entirety of the depths if I thought it was trash. If you want me to, I can talk about the stuff I liked in Tears of the Kingdom more than Breath of the Wild. Pretty much. Or rather, there's like, yeah. But the whole that was one of my favorite parts of Tears of the Kingdom, is I love the fact that it's like, oh man, this is cool. These are photos that Zelda actually took, and if you want your memories back, you have to go find out where she took them because you were there. And so you get to just be like, oh, I see like the castle in the background from the left here, but there's this statue here, and based on the trees here, it's like, I think it's here, and then you kind of explore, and it's like, oh my god, I think I see it. Some of them are images are more obvious, and others, of course, some of them are like, okay, it's like 2 feet away from the castle. It's probably over here. It's a really cool and clever thing, and it really goes with the idea of exploration in the game. Some of it's like, you know, maybe you're looking at it's like, oh, I think I've seen that before. I think it's super cool. I love it as an idea. And then, of course, there's a hint system for it, too. It's not like it's that. If you really want hints, you could ask a guy in a certain area. It's like, oh, yeah, I think one of the images is here. And he'll give you a hint. Not, like, tell you where it is, but give you a hint. And it's a really cool idea. I love that whole exploration, making your own map, exploring your own boundaries kind of a thing. Whereas in Tears of the Kingdom, it's really, they just give it to you. The only thing you have to do is just get to it. But they kind of just give it to you. Considering they're more integral to the core story. I think them being giant marks. I guess. I mean, the ones in Breath of the Wild are integral to the core story. That's how you get the story. Like, to get the context of what you're doing and why, you have to do the memories in Breath of the Wild. You don't have to, I guess. The same way you don't have to get the tears in Tears of the Kingdom. You don't. You can do all of your stuff without it. But, like, you don't need to get the Master Sword in either game. It'll give it to you in the end. Again, if you ever want to borrow Tears of the Kingdom, I can let you borrow it. And try it and see if you like it. More, but... I think it's just because, I don't know. I don't want to be so down on Tears of the Kingdom, but I think, in retrospect, there was some disappointments in it. And the benefits of the stuff everyone talks about, I like the depths a lot. I like that I do like that they expanded the world. I like the sky. I like the building was very cool. I like how it was a direct sequel and expanded on a lot of the world. It was fun to see, you know, these characters that we'd already gotten to know in fully fleshed out form. But I do think in the end, I kind of do feel like Tears of the Kingdom was a bit of a disappointment in some ways. Maybe, I don't know. But again, despite the fact that I said it had more stuff, I liked the stuff it added. I liked that there was more clothes, and I liked that the clothes felt more meaningful. I liked that you could do the paraglider. I liked that you can collect the things. I liked that they had a Hudson's little, like, cuck sign. Sign cuck. You had to help the sign cuck, you know, keep a sign up. I liked that a lot. I liked a lot of the story. I liked Zelda's entire story. Even though it was ham-fisted, or not even ham-fisted, it was so obvious. They didn't, like, you know, it wasn't like a big surprise. I knew it was happening because they made it, like, as clear as day that this was what was going to happen. The fact that it happened, her whole story with the memories was like, oh my god. I genuinely was like, I was playing the game at night, and it just, like, it hit me. And it was like, this is fucking tragic. This is so horribly tragic. Which is why I kind of almost wish that it just ended that way. And I would still feel that way if the ending of the game wasn't so fucking tremendously good. I think the ending of this game, ending of Tears of the Kingdom is like 1,000% better than the ending of Breath of the Wild. Like, significantly better. Here's the end of Breath of the Wild's ending is like, oh, the boss isn't that hard. It takes 2 seconds. The second phase is like 5 seconds. And it ends with, that's it. And it kind of just ends, and then you're done. It's like, man, Tears of the Kingdom ending is dramatic and epic, and it has way more to do, and the whole satisfaction of finally getting Zelda at the end is like, oh my god, this is amazing. That is way better ending, like, significantly, and that's such a huge, huge plus. I think I like a lot of the dungeons. I love, here's the thing, people are critical of Divine Beasts. I'm not. I think the idea of a temple that you can move around and it affects the stuff and has one general main mechanic that you can do stuff with is cool. And there's issues of like, oh, there's only, you know, 5 distinct challenges. That's issue in 1, maybe 2 of the Divine Beasts in some cases. But not in a bad way, and a lot of the stuff in the Divine Beasts do affect each other. Especially stuff like the Thunderblight one is a big example. Where it's like, you do certain things here and they affect other stuff. I love the Divine Beasts. I think they're really cool, and I think they get a lot more hate than they deserve. And there's the good ones and maybe the mediocre ones. I like that the dungeons in Tears was unique. Specifically, I really liked the Gerudo dungeon a lot, as well as the Goron dungeon. I didn't like every dungeon in Tears of the Kingdom, because a lot of them just kind of weren't that different. And I think the worst dungeon out of both of those games is easily the Tears of the Kingdom, like, water one. Not the waterworks. The Zora waterworks and finding, like, the thing in the sky was really cool. I like the fact that all of the lead-up to all of the stuff in the games was cool. Like, all the lead-ups to the dungeons in Tears of the Kingdom were great. The dungeons themselves would depend, but the lead-ups were cool. And most of them were lengthy. They had lead-ups in Breath of the Wild, but they weren't always as extensive. And some were like, the Gordon one was like, oh god, I have to, like, chaperone this guy up the mountain. Gerudo's with the Yiga was cool. And Sidon's would just get there, basically. It's just like, you're stuck in rain, there's tons of guys with thunder, just get there. The lead up to all the dungeons in Tears of the Kingdom was significantly better. But again, it maybe feels like it more has... Tears of the Kingdom has more set pieces, where Breath of the Wild was more about the game and the exploration of the world itself. There's differences. There's give and take, but there's a lot that I really liked about Tears of the Kingdom, and obviously I loved it. I did like the vehicles. I really liked exploring the depths. Making a vehicle and just flying around, seeing what I could find. There's another Yiga camp, there's some enemies, there's the bosses you could refight. And I liked a lot of the cool I liked all the, like, the light puzzles, some of those cool mechanics. A lot of the sky stuff was pretty fun. I think in retrospect I might like Breath of the Wild more. There's more simplicity there, but there's more stuff about exploring. But there's a lot to do in Tears of the Kingdom that I really loved. Again, I think the story in both games are fine. I don't think it's the voice actors at all. but I think it's more of the direction and the way they tell the story. So where they repeat things a bunch and they kind of just make things very obvious and they don't make it as dramatic. There's parts where it's like, man, I feel like they could have done this exact same story with the exact same voice actors and make it more compelling feeling. And maybe part of that is the non-linearity of it, just gave it some issues. But in my mind, I was like, I feel like this could have been way more compelling. For both. Again, Tears of the Kingdom is in my head more recently for the story itself. But just being like, you know, yeah. They're going to keep saying the exact same text at the same time, or even like... And maybe some of the voice acting. And I don't mean that because they were bad voice actors, but I think a part of that is just some of the direction. Like, this is, you know, this is what we got. I probably meant to get that item there, that food. Come on. Nice. But sometimes the way they convey certain stories. But again, and I think that is an aspect where I do think, if I'm comparing to, I think, even though I was down on Breath of the Wild story in some aspects, I think I like it a bit more than Tears of the Kingdom's in some aspects. In some. In other aspects, Tears of the Kingdom is better. Like the ending. And I know if you watch it, like... Again, if you watch the memories in Zelda, it's like, yeah, I get it. You know, you kind of get the premise. You watch one memory, and then it's like, I get what the theme of Zelda and her father is. Maybe not one. If you do it in order, maybe like the first, like, 4. Then the other ones are in the same vein. Like, I already got this. I already got these memories, you know. I know. But, so a lot of times it doesn't really further the story. So the cutscenes are like, why do we have this cutscene again, basically? Or I almost feel like they could have done, I don't know, more. Maybe done slightly different cutscenes that conveyed in a different way, I don't know. But that happens in both games. It's like, yeah, I got it. I get it. But I like it. My favorite part of the story in Breath of the Wild is how compelling each of the champions are. And their respective towns. I liked hearing the story about how they wanted to save each other. Again, it's simple, silly as it is, hearing that, like, Daruk wanting to save his town and wondering how his... I wonder how the old rolling ground is after all these years. And he looks down and sees Yunobo. Like, still growing strong, I see. And he does the fist pump, and Yunobo looks up and cheers. For some reason, that one can almost bring me to tears. I think it's the music, and it's the whole idea of, like, he's dead. They're all dead. They all have their different hang-ups from the past. The main story of, like, Zelda and the rest is, like, it's great, whatever. But how it handles with the champions, I love. In their own personal connections with their own stories and their own towns, and how that has changed since they've been dead. Yes, and the Champions Ballad enhanced those characters more. In this games, I don't know if there was that much emotional complexity to most of the characters. Either the champions were the champions from the previous game, and, you know, then it's kind of just carryovers. Or they were just like, oh, it's silly, this guy is a wrestler now, and he's addicted to drugs. This guy's getting married. Like, the whole, like... You know, Mipha had a somewhat compelling character. Somewhat. I say somewhat. Where Saidana in the second one was like, I'm married, but I can't let go of my wife to do what's right. It's like, that was it, and it was the most, like, 5-second plot. It's like, okay, that's cool. Either way, it's not like either one is the main story as much as come on. I do love these sandblargs. I don't know what they're actually called, but... Coin, oh coin, oh where thou shalt be. You smile at my face and you let me be. Appreciate the way your allies come to your aid in Tears of the Kingdom, or that natural in the dark exploring, the lightning clouds. Oh yeah, the fact that there's like a... Okay, very quick spoilers for Tears of the Kingdom. I've been avoiding it, but just very quickly for the next, like, 10, 20 seconds. Okay, good. I love the fact that there's like the fifth temple and the fifth sage. All of that was cool. That was great. That was awesome. That was a cool segment. I don't know if it's my absolute favorite Zelda, but she's my top 3. I like her. I do like her. Aside from the fact that they make her repeat the same issues every time, and that's not her fault. That's the game's fault. I like her. She's a compelling character, and she does well. And I do, again, I noticed this time, it's a difference between the champions of old give you an item of theirs. Essentially, they give you a move. They have their own custom moves that they use, and they bequeath it to you. Versus, in Tears, they are quite literally giving you, like, you know, a version of them, basically. A version of themselves, like a spirit version, until they come with you for real. And that was neat, because you're collecting allies, even though they're not actually with you. I know they have to have them there because they're in their hometowns. I almost kind of wish they would have stuck with you instead, fully. They're like, oh, we need to protect our own towns for now, but you know, we need you. You'll come with you. I feel like they could have just said, oh, you know, this is urgent. We'll stick by your side, and they're actually just there with you. I actually feel like that would have made it feel better. And they could have just done that. I mean, there's no reason that they had to be like, oh, we have to stay at home with our own people until we're gonna come visit you. Small thing, but I kind of feel like they should have just been like, yeah, I'm going to travel with you now and have the actual models there with you at all times. Like you're going on an adventure and collecting allies. It's like you're playing, like, Tag You're It, or, like, Freeze Tag. No, what is the tag? Tag is always a tag. Like, when you play tag with people and you freeze somebody, they also start hunting, right? Or is that like Chaos Tag? There's a version of tag where, like, every person who gets found... No, I'm thinking of hide and seek. Shit, I'm sorry. The hide and seek where every person who, you know, gets found is then on the hunt. So there's one person left and 20 people are searching for them. That kind of thing. Oh yeah, the fact that, like, that's a big difference is the world, you know, felt more desolate in Breath of the Wild. Whereas in Tears of the Kingdom, yeah, there was just people everywhere. Although in my mind, they didn't do that far enough. I wanted to see like more towns pop up, more encampments, more makeshift. I wanted to see even more. In fact, that it's like, oh, it's basically the same world. It's kind of fucked up now, but I actually wanted to see even more than we got. Because we basically had all the same towns, and then the lookout landing, and that was it. It's like, I wanted to see, like, a lookout landing everywhere, or, like, I don't know. You might find, like, a series of tents, and there are people there hanging out, and maybe there's, like, a half-built town somewhere or something. I don't know. The biggest thing was, like, Hudson's area. And I don't know how many years. It was like 7 years between the games or something. I don't know. Or even the idea, like, were people living back in the castle again? It was still fucked up even before it was risen. How did we get people to, like, get the kingdom back? Because the world itself didn't feel that different. Sure, there were more people, but where were those people before? That is something I think I just would have liked. Babies don't grow that fast. Babies don't grow that fast, then why were there more people just everywhere? Like, where did they come from? Like, there seemed to be more people than before. Yet, the world seemed the same. And we had, like, tons of knights guards. Where did all these knights come from? Where do they live? I mean, there hasn't been a kingdom. There hasn't been a king in 100 years. People haven't been living under, like, the reign of a ruler. Did they just agree? Like, I wouldn't have minded seeing, like, I don't know, even if it was like a half-finished castle town. And the whole thing about all the guardians and the guardians were gone and stuff. It's like, you know, it was still a sequel, but it's somewhat pseudo-disconnected, which was a little interesting. Ex-Yiga. Maybe. But yeah, it was the same kind of desolate-esque world. Holy shit, he's jiggling. But then just more people in it. Which was fine. It was just an interesting vibe, I think. Again, there's plenty I liked about the game, but there's plenty I disliked, too. How do we go to the map? There we go. It's like, there's a map, ain't there? Rosalina. I love Rosalina. I'm having fun. I'm just playing Mario Kart. I'm just having fun. Sorry. I know we're chatting, but I'm just enjoying myself. Got nothing else to do. And sorry, we've talked about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom for like a fucking hour. I could have talked about this tomorrow when I play the game if I choose to. If I don't play like Nubby or whatever. I should be packing. What other games, like... I guess we're probably due to see like a Mario sports game, right? Maybe. Although, to be honest, I don't care about the Mario sports game. The only Mario sports game I kind of wish I did pick up was Mario Super Rush, the golf one. Which I know not everyone was as big of, but I know... Oh, come on. I know some people specifically who loved the fucking game. And it looked fun. I know not everyone loved the idea of like the rush mode, but it generally seemed great. I kind of don't get why some people gave it a bad rap. It had some good gameplay and good levels and good game. The other one was the tennis one, where apparently some people put like 1,000 hours into the Mario Tennis on the Switch. Just because of a good multiplayer game. And I know for some people it's like, wait, you going to play your multiplayer game at the Mario Tennis? But no, apparently it's actually good multiplayer. It's good online. It's just good gameplay. It's like, we have other games that are expected I'm just not thinking about. And we got all these games on the Switch once. I'm like, are we due for a sequel or like a new iteration of these? And I guess so. Like Expedition 33. I still haven't played it. I know it's good. Maybe one day I'll pick it up. I still haven't even seen like goddamn gameplay of it. Or any visuals. The only one I fell off quickly. I kind of wish I got it. Here's the thing. I don't play that many games online, so I don't think I would have gotten my money's worth from the online. I would have done the story mode where you play as like Waluigi and Wario. No, they're the villain, sorry. Done some of the other modes. Maybe a little bit of online, and that would have been it. I mean, the only thing that the only thing we got out of the tennis game, aside from apparently good gameplay, is that Luigi's fucking packing. That's not a mushroom in there, ladies and gentlemen. Packing so much that Game Theory themselves made a theory about how big Luigi's fucking junk is. That's true. That's real. But some visual storytelling suggests what happened. Oh, I mean, I know that, but it's minor. Yeah, I heard Expedition 33 was good. It's one of those things where there's a lot of games where if I just somehow don't see it. None of the people I watch play it for whatever reason, or have played it, and the people who haven't, I just haven't bothered to look up. I haven't seen any clips of people on like Blue Sky or whatever. I haven't seen sharing like, oh, here's the gameplay. All I know about it is that it is exceptionally good. And that's kind of it, if I'm going to be honest. Why does this car fucking exist? Who is it? Egad mentioned this? Does Egad still exist? Is he like dead? With so many streamers be playing it. You probably watch more streamers than I do. I don't actually watch as many as I pretend I do. Visual style doesn't entice you to play. And sometimes the gameplay itself can be compelling. No one should be a graphics snob, but I think style and visuals matter. If you don't like the way something looks, it's gonna disappear. It's gonna not appeal to you. I think that's very fair. There's plenty of games I have not checked out because I just didn't like the look of them. Despite the fact that I might enjoy them, and sometimes playing a game I do enjoy them, despite their looks. And I don't just mean like crusty, I just mean like stylistically they're boring, but follow a lot of JRPG streamers, yeah you do. Like me. I'm joking. I've never played a JRPG in my life. Name one JRPG I've ever streamed, ever. That's right, you can't name one, they don't exist. I'm saying it's more boring than Dark Souls. Never played Dark Souls, but people love Dark Souls, so that's not, I mean... JRPGs are kind of ironic because there was no D&D outside of campaigns about creating your own story. I mean, sure. I mean, is D&D the original RPG? Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the whole concept of an RPG in general, though, is a role-playing game. Is it a role you create yourself, or is it a role someone else's role? So I can understand that idea of like, oh, it's not really the same, but You know, I think there's some. I still think there's some differences there. Sonic Adventure, yeah, that's the biggest. That's the biggest JRPG of them all. I mean, anyone could have said Final Fantasy Rebirth because I streamed that for like 6 months. I streamed Final Fantasy Adventure a long time ago, and obviously Dragon Quest 3, which I still haven't finished, by the way. I gotta come back to that. Not on stream. Oh, maybe on stream. Maybe if I just need a game to stream, I might play some more. But I think I got stuck somewhere. I just haven't picked it up. How do I get up there, man? There's like a coin up there, but I can't. There's a fucking lip. I guess I just have to go up the long way. Oh my god, Rosalina, what the fuck? I know it's ice physics, but come on. Bobsledding, what is this, fucking Jamaica? Oh my, what the fuck is this camera? Sorry, I'm actually getting like dizzy. Oh, Jesus Christ. That element of player involvement. I mean, in degrees, but a lot of Western RPGs, I mean, you're talking about Western RPGs like Skyrim, I guess that's different. There's a lot of Western RPGs that don't let you have customization, aside from like skill trees. Most of them aren't actually that different from each other. Talking about RPGs specifically with character creators, maybe that's different, but RPG is a loose genre anyways. Modern day video game RPG is something that with some kind of mechanics of you can like level up your character. Maybe you have some choices in your build. I mean, Dragon Quest is a better example because you do get to have your own party kind of. And you level them up with different skills. I mean, the beginning of Dragon Quest starts with you taking like a survey about your character by doing some stuff, and it like says, oh, you're this kind of person. In this situation, you do this. It kind of gets to the core of who you are as a person. So in that sense, Dragon Quest is a pretty good example. Obviously, there's some where you play a specific character with a specific, role, and that's a bit different. I'm struggling here, man. I just want to get up a fucking cliff. Nope. Bad angle.
Yay!
Okay, you know what? Get back, get back, get back, get back, get back. Everyone's favorite Beatles song. Not true. There we go. Get up there. Get up there. Oh. Nope. General labels are not always going to be perfect, with many exceptions. Another thing I want to comment different how loot is handled. WRPGs will have like 15 different bronze helms. A lot of RPGs will just have one. Again, I mean, even that's different. I mean, you sometimes will get a lot of the same items in RPGs, depending. So even that's like, oh, it depends on the game. Any of these, it depends. Japanese people don't like the term JRPG. A lot of Japanese developers hate the term JRPG. Because a lot of times Japanese RPGs aren't that different. Some of them are the same. Some of them have tropes, but some of them don't. And then some Western RPGs have those same tropes. What are they? So even that's like, well, yeah, I get that, but it's just arbitrary, and they don't, and it's wavy. Yo, didn't help. Yes, we did use it disparagingly, which didn't help, because people were very anti-Japan for people who loved games back in the day. It's like, what the fuck is their deal? You know these guys are making the games you're playing. Why are you so against them? I guess that's probably around the time like Xbox and Western studios. Here we go. This was way more effort than it should have taken for this, but like, we're getting this goddamn coin. And as well, I can explore what's up here. I know they want me to jump. You know what? I know they want me to jump off, but I actually just want to like stop. Rosalina? What is up here, Rosalina? Just because I'm up here now. Took all this effort. Oh, I've never seen a mountain like this. I love the clouds in this game. Sorry, this is an odd mention. All of the clouds in this game are really pretty. I like how they handle it. They always look painted on, but like in like a watercolor of some kind. You know what I mean? You know what? I don't need to go this way. I actually wanted to just big lead up. Just very pretty. All right, baby, here we go. We jump in the Simpsons Gorge, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't remember now. If only I had snow boots. That should have made me fly. Come on, game. What's wrong with you? Where the fuck am I now? There we go. I was like, I kind of wish the map was like a better map. I know why it isn't, but Attack of the Show. Well, Attack of the Show or G4, there's a lot of stuff like that. There used to be a lot of gaming magazines that would make fun of shit. It's like all the gaming magazines that would make fun of Metal Gear Solid 2 because of Raiden, and they would call him like a, you know, feminine boy or whatever they would say, stupid shit like that. I mean, I don't think they want you here to like pin, like, I use the map in Breath of the Wild too much to be like, okay, I've already been here. What's, you know what I mean? In this game, they probably just want you to fucking drive. And also, this is another game where I'm assuming they don't really care if you collect everything. They want this what they actually want free roam to be is a thing you do in between races. If you're waiting around, do a little bit of exploring, maybe do a challenge or two if it's there. If you can even do challenges or at least collect some stuff. Like, it's the break between the meat. Again, I think it's funny. These days, Nintendo is very much against, I feel like completing 100% of games. They might give you rewards for it, depending. In some games, they might incentivize it more than others, depending on what reward they give. But a lot of their bigger, more open games are like, we don't want, like, I feel like they're de-incentivizing you doing everything. Just do as much as you want. Some games, like Mario Wonder, is like, well, the reward for getting everything is pretty cool. You get more levels all the way to the end until you get, like, the best badge in the game. You know? That's more of a one of, like, that's an incentive. But like Odyssey or Breath of the Wild, it's like, yeah, do as much until you're satisfied, and then you're good. You get, like, less than half of the moons, if that, to beat Odyssey. Majority of the moons are after you beat the game. Breath of the Wild, similar in a sense of, like, yeah, just do what you want. And a big part of that, it's open. You can do as much or as little as you want. Knowing that most people will do a lot and more and engage with most everything, but they won't get everything. And do things like, oh, the incentive for getting everything is not that big. Oh my god, you're going to get like a, you know... Wait, sorry, where am I going? Holy shit, it's raining fucking beauty. I think I fucked up, by the way. I definitely fucked up. And Racer doesn't have some amazing high-tech tablet. I mean, yeah, that wouldn't be... I mean, there is stuff on the map that tells you a little bit. Doesn't tell you everything. I can't do it in challenge. That was a waste of time. I see. Okay, I get it. Again, I never watched G4 because that's a little... I guess, I don't know if that's before or after my time. Nintendo should bring back the 1980s difficulty. You're fucking right. They do sometimes. I mean, if you talk about, like, the Nintendo World Championship, it's being like, oh, play the 1980s difficulty games, but play it, like, really quickly. That was pretty good. I don't know. I don't know what the hardest game Nintendo has released in more recent years. Here's the thing. All Nintendo's games have elements of difficulty, but they're never the main thing, as in you have to do it. More of like, you know, it's one of things. Like in this game, there's a lot of challenges that are like, fuck, man. How have I spent an hour on one of these challenges, for example? But the majority of them are fine. There is some there's ball blistering shit in all of their games, kind of. But it's never like the mandatory thing. which some people are, you know, not happy about. And that's fair. If you're looking for just more typical challenge, then that's different. But you never, you know, to your point, maybe they'll add something to that. Maybe they should. But I don't think there's any reward for doing every challenge aside from just seeing them. Which, to be fair, is pretty cool. There's some really cool challenges in this game. I know I'm missing some of the conversation about RPGs right now, but there's a lot. Sorry, guys. I am interested in it. I mean, it's funny that they don't do like video. I don't know. I guess streaming and video game and YouTube has just replaced the idea of needing a video game TV show on the TV, on the airwaves. By the way, we're talking about 1980s difficulty for games. We got to bring back fucking Ice Climbers, everybody. Ice Climbers. Sakurai's working on it. Once he's done with Air Riders, it's a secret project. We're going to get Ice Climbers 2. Sakurai's Big Boogaloo. It's going to be fucking delicious. It's going to be great. We're going to get Nana and Popo, and a third one called Shofo. And they're going to be really cool, and you get to use them horribly. It's like a throuple situation, but Nana and Popo have the power, and Shofo doesn't have the power, and they're kind of like being abused. Then we learned that Nana and Popo are the real villains. And then the second half of the game starts, and you're playing as new characters, and they have to fight to save Shofo. It's true. Shofo's brother Gofo. It'll be very exciting. I can't wait for Sakurai to find. I know I spoiled a little bit of it, but listen. Once Sakurai gets that out to the world, you'll see. You'll see. It's going to be like the best game. It's going to be like Dark Souls difficulty, though. And that's when it really hits its stride. I will say, yeah, even I don't know the mainstream of what people really like. I always feel like, I guess gamers, I always feel like what tops the list is a lot of those SNES RPGs. But gamers aren't average people. The average people who played games back in the day, who might not play games anymore, probably were dismissive of a lot of those RPGs and stuff. Because they're not hardcore gamers, are they? They're just people. And maybe they're the same kind of people who moved on to, like, the console wars when Xbox came out and they had, like, Halo and shit. Call of Duty started becoming popular. Again, if I ever have emotes, I gotta get a Sakurai's Ice Climbers emote. That's so never gonna be used. It is only gonna be used every time I bring it up, which is not that often. So it's not worth having, to be honest. I could be one of the streamers who has like better Twitch.tv, Frankerface Z, 7TV, and all of them with 100 emotes on each, and everyone just plays like fucking a billion of them. I thought about having emotes on the other ones, but that involves telling people who watch me to have a chat, client that lets you see those emotes. Just because I do doesn't mean you do, but that's how people used to do emotes before Twitch even existed. Where you'd use like, a third-party streaming software, third-party chatting software. Even more you can run out of stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's sad that free roam is going to end, but I mean, it's not like a roguelike. It has to end eventually. Sad as it is, it's going to happen unless they make you make your own challenges, which I still think isn't that hard. I think it wouldn't be that hard to make a thing of like, go from point A to point B. I genuinely think having an ability to like, you have this one map that's unchangeable. Let people like, draw a circle, put blue coins, and be like, collect blue coins within this time limit. Maybe not upload, but maybe share it or something. Weirdly, I feel like that's something that would work really well in this game, is the ability to make your own challenges. Or even your own races, where it's like you give 1 point, destination A, destination B, destination C. I'm being serious. Imagine in this game, there's a mode where you could make your own courses. Be like, you start here. And maybe you race. Again, I mentioned this the other day, where it's like you have the Mario Kart Live, where the way you make your own courses in the Mario Kart Live, which is a real kart in the real physical world, and you have to drive it through certain goalposts, and then start back to where you were, and that's your race. Like, what if you could do that here? Where it's like, I drive from here, press A, put down a thing. Drive over here, put down another one, drive over here, another one, here, and then back. This is one big open world, and you make your own track. Like any of these challenges. I feel like that could be so easily done. And it's in my mind, it's like, how? That feels obvious. I feel like maybe it's something that, to me, it seems so obvious that might even do it at some point. Little Big Planet Kart Racer, I think, had a good idea for doing kart racing. You could free drive and it creates a track. That's basically kind of what I'm saying. I don't know if I want them to make more stuff as much as just... Mine's even simpler, though. Mine is just using the layout of the world itself. Again, this is functionally software they've invented for the real-life Mario Kart RC cars. It's like I'm driving right now, and I'm pressing L to put down, like, a thing you have to go through. Part of the track. I'm here now. Press L again. Maybe you get 5 of those. And then you have to loop back around to the beginning. And it'll just draw the track around you. Because this game already works that way in a sense, where you just choose, like... If you want to go even simpler, just say, choose a start area, choose an end area, and let the game form a route between the two. Which it basically already does when it comes to, like, racing online. Where it'll give you, like, an intermission for pretty much any track. Custom Knockout Tour will keep the mode. Yeah, to me, it just feels like with them having a static map like this, it feels almost too obvious that they should let you do that. That's the best way of doing a Mario Kart builder. Unless you want to go like F-Zero on the 64 disk drive where it let you make your own maps. Which is cool. Much more squirrely. This seems easy. It would be intuitive for basically anybody, even babies, would just be like, oh, all I gotta do to make a race is to drive. But yeah, I mean, it feels like and I'm saying all this because they have an open world map, this one big map, and all the races take place on the same map, that it feels like if there was any game that this would work for, it would be this one. And I don't even think it would be that hard. It wouldn't have to be that much new, I don't think. You know what they could do? This is the new Strand type game. Every time you boot up Free Roam, there are user-made challenges, like when they used to have like the Tingle bottles in Wind Waker HD. You might see like like instead of a blue P block, there's a yellow one, and that's made by a person. And if you use it, it's a challenge they made. It's a race they made. And you can do them, and they give you coins or something. I don't know. They give you points. They give you, like, friend points. And you can make your own, and you put yours in the world, and people might randomly go find them in their world. And it's Strand-type gameplay. Kojima would be proud of us. We're building a world full of adventure. They have design intent builder on the Ledger Race account. And the main thing is that the limit, they would be hesitant to create stuff that couldn't be used to 24 persons. That's true. Again, I don't even think this should be something that's like, you can upload your course. I don't know. The difficulty is, do you upload it, or is it just shared via, like, you can share QR codes with people or something? That's probably what they would do. If they don't want a server, you know, to handle everybody's courses like fucking Mario Maker. Although, to be fair, it would be a small amount of data. That's where I'm thinking more of, like, it's just in the world already. You create it, and then it might show up with people. Because you're not, like, you know, creating assets. It's just like, oh, it's already the map. All it really needs to know is the start and the ending position. And even then, it could just generate it every time. Like, it just has the instructions for making it. It'd be very low level if they wanted to do that. In terms of data, they actually would need to save. So I'm trying to think from a pragmatic standpoint. It would still allow some creativity. And that's just maps. That's just, like, short little races. Even challenge size. That's not even talking about, like, if you wanted to make, like, collect 8 red coins, which you could also do with a little bit more effort, but you could also do that to make more fleshed out challenges too. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. I don't know if they will do that, but it feels like it is something they could do based on how they designed this game with reasonable effectiveness, I feel. And would give this game a lot of fun gameplay, I guess. And not even that disingenuous from other games they've done. Birdo Mermaid, oh my god. I didn't know Birdo was a mermaid. Wasn't one of the test games he did an open world of interconnected sections? Oh yeah, the fucking caveman game that we still haven't seen. That I'm so sad I didn't get picked for that. You know how badly I wanted to play that game where people were making like Peter Griffin 3D models and you could wear your Peter Griffin model around the world while other cavemen would like bonk you in the head? The Mario MMO? Are we ever gonna see that? If that is, again, there was a lot of music made for that game specifically, and in my mind, like, why would they make all this custom music for a game that's gonna last 2 weeks? Excepting, I guess they always like their little level of polish. But I hope it comes back. I hope we can see it in whatever form it takes. Maybe some kind of free app for NSO. That was bad. Feel like a Luigi's Balloon Hunt? Oh yeah, that's basically what I'm talking about. Like, it's not that different. If I'm being honest. It would be relatively similar in a sense. How do I fucking do this? Again, that's why I'm saying it should be implemented in Free Roam. As something you can randomly encounter on. I'm kind of joking with the stranding part, but maybe. How they share it, if it's just with friends or locally. Or if they do it like a Mario Maker style, where you could actually upload it. I think it would have to be a part of just Free Roam. It's stuff you can just stumble across. That makes the most sense. Or maybe it's like, and maybe if you're playing with people, you know? Or like custom lobbies with friends. Maybe there's a difference there where you can just play it normally. Choose the ones you've made, but I don't think it should be for like general online. You can't even do that with Smash custom stages. And those suckers, they let you build like literally new stages. They weren't simple made tracks, though. I remember I played some of them on stream, and all of them got taken down, so that Banjo-Tooie VOD is, like, utterly fucked. In terms of copyright. God damn it. And it might be nothing, but I would be really upsetting if it was. Because it had interesting mechanics from everything I saw leaked about it, because I was watching that, like, obsequiously. With custom music and cool stuff in it, and it seemed neat. And who knows what it was actually testing, but I want it as itself. I don't just want like, oh, it's stress testing stuff. I want the fucking thing. I want to play the caveman game, man. And it seems like more effort than it's worth, but Nintendo wouldn't put anything out, even if it's for 2 weeks, without some level of effort, I think. Like a pseudo Minecraft where you can build things and you can share your worlds and people can come across your worlds and explore their worlds. And you're slowly building together this giant world together. And you're illuminating like sections and shit. Like, I don't think I knew what to expect from it, but... And if that's all it's ever going to be, and we can never play it again, and all we have is limited footage that's gone forever. The other thing is, like, they were so careful about hiding footage for this. And even now, you really can't find stuff unless you look hard on, like, the depths of Blue Sky, not like a normal social media site. I'm like, well, okay, if they really hit it this well, why? If it's something that's, you know, just because it wasn't finished? Or is it a game that they do want to release at some point, but they weren't ready to show yet? That's a lot of effort to hide it and copyright all of its music if it's something that is a throwaway, right? Which is kind of why I feel like, I don't know, maybe it will come back. Guess we just don't know. Fuck y'all. Get the fuck out of here. I feel like I'm playing Mario 3. Oh, such a melancholic version. Oh, who farted over there, you fuckers? That's a fun challenge. Like, this challenge, you could possibly... I mean, that would be more effort to be like, okay, put enemies down. But you could do it to where you just, like... You make a track first, and then you, like, go down the track, and you could place enemies. Arranging them. That'd be more difficult, admittedly. But I don't think it's... I also don't think it's infeasible. I wonder if the music is so quiet because they wanted to mimic, like, a radio. You're going on the highway, and you hear the stuff. But I keep my radio louder than this. Yo, Aurora fucking... Oh my god. Holy shit. Alright, found my favorite, Rosalina. Look at this beautiful lady. Can I rotate? It's the rotate button. Oh man, I was hoping that the sparkles would align. Nice. I do actually like some of these framings. Like, these are fun. If you have a good image for them, they're quite fun. Like this one. For the world! And you have, you know... the 90% people want to show up project when it's polished. I mean, yeah, I know, it's true. But I don't think it's not such a big thing that people cared that much, because most people didn't know a test was happening. Like, the only people who really would have known about this were people who are big into Nintendo. Even if footage got out there, I don't think anyone would have seen it more as like, oh, that's interesting, I didn't know about that. I don't think anyone would have actually cared. I don't know, maybe they would have. I don't know. Then what's the point of hiding it? Who knows? Like, even I forgot about it mostly until you brought it up today. But yeah, I mean, you're comparing, like, a weird caveman game that a new IP that no one heard of, to fucking Final Fantasy IX Remake. I'm not saying they're not comparable, and you have a point. I do think you have a point. But it is a thing of, like, the relative amount that people actually would care about that over something else is like, I don't know. You might be right, though. People might have cared more than even I think. But I don't think it wouldn't have been as big as, like, where's Metroid Prime 4? Because it's a new IP for a game that's not out yet. People would have been like, where is this? But I don't think it would have caused much effect. If you were getting, like, MMO Zelda or something, and it just didn't come to fruition, people would be like, what the fuck? You know, that would be a little different. You have a quick wit and creative brain, that's why I enjoy my streams. Do I have a quick wit and a creative brain? I don't think I do. I think I think you're just confusing me with somebody. If it's not Blun. That guy only makes blunders, but he does have a quick wit, so it works. Surprised you're still playing. I'm having fun. This is a great stream. There's some really fun challenges in here. I've been collecting. I got the best Rosalina outfit, and I've just been chatting about games. Again, it's the perfect kind of mode for doing this. If you want salt stream, if you want me like screaming at my screen, then I could do online. But if you want to just like chill and chat about games, free roam's the best. I'm just having a great time. There is some salt. There is some salt with some of these challenges, but. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's kind of you. I try my best. You wish it was. I do wish this was playable with friends around us, like doing the challenges, not just doing. You can do free roam, but you can't do the P-switches. It's like, come on, man. That's like the best part of the free roam. You can still find coins and stuff and still drive around, but it's not quite the same. I kind of wish you could engage in these challenges together. Dragon Drive new Arms. I mean, Arms I feel like got disserviced for how good it was and how much content it did, and it got support for at least 2 years. Like, it got support for a year, if not 2 years, of like new updates, new characters, some extra story. It didn't get picked up like Splatoon did, but it also wasn't a failure. I expect Dragon Drive to sell far less than Arms did. Arms did reasonably well, all things considered. It was not a breakout success like a Splatoon, but it did pretty decent. I mean, a million, if not more than a million. I mean, with that in mind, it's like, yeah, it's not the worst. I just got scored in the last month. Yeah, Dragon Drive. I would be shocked if it did like, I don't even know. I'd be shocked if Dragon Drive did 1 million, or even like 500,000. I have no idea how much Dragon Drive is going to sell. I am not expecting like a lot at all. I'm sorry, Dragon Drive. People say you're actually fun to play, but at the same time, I don't think anyone's that invested. It's like almost pure gameplay. There's like is there a single player mode? We haven't seen much of it. I'm assuming we'll see more. But it's like pure multiplayer gameplay of a very specific kind of super niche. Oh no, I know. Some people do. Again, you're comparing it to being like if it's like a Splatoon level. No, but comparing it to Dragon Drive is like Dragon Drive is less. I'm not saying ARMS is the biggest success in the world, but ARMS Dragon Drive is way fucking less than that. I mean, at least ARMS has character in Smash Brothers. As a recognizable character. People could look at a character from ARMS and be like, oh yeah, that's the ARMS guy. I guess you could look at the guy in Dragon Drive and be like, oh yeah, it's the wheelchair game. Which is what people are going to say about Dragon Drive. Oh yeah, it's the wheelchair game. You know, actually, I have Ooh. Oh no, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Where you going with the fucking gabagoo? No, why did I do that? What the fuck is wrong with me? That's all I needed. That's all I needed. I needed someone to please. Thanks to cars. Nope, I just fucking jump over the coin like a moron. Ooh. Nope. Get on there. Thank you. There we go. Beautiful. Not to mention, it seems exhausting. Yeah. Again, and I guess it's kind of... They say they actually want you to play it on your legs. They tried it very hard to make it like feel authentic using your actual legs and not on a table. Apparently, it feels pretty good. What do you want from ARMS? Change in genre? Yeah, if it was like an open world, you get into, what, like Street Fighter 6? But with ARMS fighting? I don't know. Maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea. I almost feel like ARMS was handicapped by the fact that they kept pushing it being motion controls, which it is, but you don't need the motion controls to play the game, and more people might have picked it up as just a straight fighting game if they let people know that. They also say that they start F-Zero to Yakuza like game. I didn't even know you were here. Have a good night. I mean, yeah, I've been streaming for longer than I should have. I've just been having fun talking, so I've been streaming. Again, streaming is fun. I don't know. I try to keep it time boxed, but I don't always because I just like streaming. Obviously, I like games, but I like chatting to people. And I'm still very lucky. I mention it all the time, but I'm lucky that I have people who are willing to watch me. Relatively, I always have people in streams these days. Whether it's one, whether it's two, whether it's more, depends on the game, right? But I streamed for just like literally nobody for quite a while. And I did it relatively happily, but you know. I love talking about games, so it's nice to chat. F-Zero should be Yakuza style. Honestly, I love the Street Fighter 6 mode. A lot of games could have a story mode not too dissimilar to that are like fighting game or racing game or other kind of game. Maybe I'll just end off with this last challenge and leave it there, because this would be a good one. Again, I like the concept. I own Street Fighter 6. I haven't really played it much at all. I should at least go through the whole story mode of Street Fighter 6. Maybe I'd stream it. I'm not against fighting games. Although, again, I didn't pick up Fatal Fury. If it ever goes on sale, I might pick up Fatal Fury, because I genuinely enjoyed it when I streamed it. Even though, despite the fact that I was utterly terrible at it. Would have been nice if Fury had a story. I like story in games. If there's a game that doesn't have a story, I don't really care that Mario Kart doesn't. I wouldn't have minded a story mode, I guess, but like the most bare-bones story. But I don't know. I don't know if that would have made free roam better for me. I'm thinking of like when they had Mario Golf Super Rush, they had a story mode where you have to which was essentially just a challenge mode. But or like a career mode, I guess. But with this slight subplot of Wario and Waluigi are trying to win or something to that effect. And more or less, a story mode is just a challenge mode for these kinds of games, unless you really want compelling story. I mean, if they could make me cry in a Mario Kart story mode, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, give me a free roam with the most compelling story I've ever seen in a game in my life. Make me sob because of the tension in the Mario Kart game. I can't say I wouldn't want that because that would be great. I wouldn't expect it from this kind of game. Nor would I think it needed it for it to be good, but fuck it. If you want it, you know what? I don't even disagree. Fuck it. Give it to me. I want Waluigi to make me cry. And I think I get what Nintendo's going for here, but I know some people would like to have that. Although again, I think they still see this game as a mainly multiplayer focused game. And this is a cool addition for that, but I don't think they see it as anything more. I don't know. Who knows? They could always do more. Room is a cool concept. I mean, yeah, you could do a lot with this kind of world. That's why my big thing for the free roam is not a story mode, but make your own maps, or rather, make your own routes. It's a better way of putting it. That feels perfect for what they're going for with free roam. The story mode is cool, but it's just a thing. I mean, a lot of games can do that. But I feel like making your own routes, mapping them out, and being able to play them in this big world, I feel like just fits perfectly with the kind of... The only reason I keep going for that idea is because it works with the map and it works with this style of gameplay they've done here. So to me, it fits, but... And it's gameplay-centric. Oh, it's a fucking sword? Who's stabbing a bitch here? What the fuck? Think too shallow story mode would just have shifted the complaint more. People complain Melee than Brawl had bad stories. Did Brawl have a bad story? I thought people liked Brawl's story. Again, I love the quote-unquote story mode, or was it classic mode in Melee. And that's really just cool, like, slightly unique stages. It's just fun. Like, aside from having cutscenes in the Brawl one, I think one of the compelling things about it is that there's unique platforming stages in it that make it cool to me. But I'm not expecting, like, some fucking compelling story. It's fun. It's just fun stuff. No. It's an actual prize. I guess that's the one thing. I still slightly disagree on it, where I feel like the game... It's just fun to explore and do challenges. The fun is the challenge, not the reward. But I get other people would prefer a reward. I don't think I would be too chuffed either way. Like, I think if they did give me a reward and there was some reason to collect it, that would be great. But I do think it would kind of change the fun of this game a little bit, where I would just be gunning for... I'm still gunning for challenges, but I would just be gunning for challenges more than exploring. Whereas even now, I still feel like it's fun to just drive around. See, like, the graffiti, look at the walls, look inside the places, see what I might find. Whereas as soon as you give people specific challenges... Good music, sorry. As soon as you give people challenges, then it's different. Like, I just did that because I wanted to, not because I needed to do that, just grind on that, just because I was like, I could do that. It's a similar mechanic. People have done tests with achievements in games. It's like, as soon as you give people achievements, they will focus on the achievements and just ignore a lot of other stuff because it doesn't give you an achievement for it. Where it's like, oh, I don't need to do this. It doesn't give me an achievement. Whereas they find that people in tests where they find if they don't give players achievements for these things, they'll do stuff just for the hell of it, even though there's no inherent reward. Because as soon as you give people a reward, they ignore everything that doesn't give you the same reward. So I get that, and I kind of get why Nintendo has never done an achievement system, because it tells you what to focus on instead of letting you have your own fun in the game, which I know Nintendo's very big on. If you go into challenge, though, you can still explore. Oh, I know, but like it as soon as you have the stuff that gives you things, it's like, I want to do the things that give me things, not the things that don't give me things. topic of challenge. I kind of understand why they didn't do that. Focus on exploration, but I missed the mission select. Yeah, I mean that's a whole different thing. But yeah, that is fun. I like mission mode. If they had that as like a separate mode, if basically not even just if they have free roam as it is now, that's perfect. If they had another mode that utilizes the world, but maybe it takes you through some challenges, maybe there's some bosses or something, that would be cool too. Separate from free roam, and then free roam has what it currently is. That would be pretty neat. Coming out of a phase of open world checklist games. Yeah. I mean, again, you could talk again. I'm not going to bring up Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not going to bring up Tears of the Kingdom. But because of the more explicit stuff with Tears of the Kingdom, I think that's one of the reasons it de-incentivized exploring a little bit. Because you did have just a fucking checklist of stuff to do. In some cases, it's like, oh, you do the Hudson thing, you do this thing, you collect this item and that item, and do this to get this item. And you kind of focus on the stuff that gives you the rewards you're looking for. Tears of the Kingdom was bigger at giving you explicit stuff. Here's how many caves you found. Here's how many wells you found. Here's how many of this you found. Here's how many of that you found. You haven't done these ones, though. Better or for worse, they're just different ideas. Either one can be good or bad, depending on what you're going for. And sometimes you can do both if they're separated out. But in this case, they do make it different. Just rather not do the challenges. Did you miss the point I made about they did surveys and studies on people, giving people explicit, direction and achievements versus not? And the fact that people change the way they play games with that. They won't explore. That's the thing. You say they could just do that, but a lot of people will not. They just won't explore as much anymore if the exploring won't give them rewards. As soon as you give a tangible reward, more people are more likely to focus on those and less likely to focus on just going around. Whether that's good or bad, that's just a thing that will happen. You say, oh, people can just not do the challenges. Yeah, but how it's actually going to turn out is most people will focus on the challenges, and most people are less likely to just go around. Doesn't mean not everyone will, but statistically speaking, people are more likely to just do that because of that, for better or for worse, which is why I think you could have both, but I think they should be somewhat separate. As in, there's like a story mode, but also like the typical free roam. You go around and do these limited challenges. Whereas in this, it's like, oh, nothing I'm doing is giving me anything specific. I'm getting stickers and stuff. But the actual rewards I'm getting is like, oh, new costumes by exploring, new coin, new carts by exploring, getting coins. And challenges, I'm just doing them because I think they're fun. And I get the feeling that's kind of what Nintendo wanted to incentivize more. It's like, I'm going and looking for challenges, not because they're giving me some kind of reward, but because I just think they're fun to do. And the enjoyment of doing a fun challenge that's kind of difficult is kind of like inherently enjoyable. That's not always the case. What? Wait, what? What is this? Maybe a good imitation would be P-switches. Get a checklist. The panels and coins don't. Coins and panels are the open world online play. Maybe. It's not a bad idea. We've already seen Bonanza. I don't even know what they're going to do for the next Mario. We've seen fucking Bonanza. How do I do this? Sorry, wait. Let me quit this mission because I misread something. Bonanza has checklists for damn certain. Bonanza's all about those checklists. I love that this is turnips. It's like Mario 2. I think some people have been playing Bonanza said it was like an OCD person's nightmare for Bonanza, which we'll see. I wonder how long it would take before people just destroy steer. Oh wait, can I? Ooh, I can control it. Wait, can I actually? Oh my god, you can! Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Oh, that's really fun. You see what I mean? I did that challenge because I just wanted to see what it was, and it was that cool thing. Did they use that mechanic ever in any race? Because that's just really neat. So I love this, the classic Mario Kart logo. Good for me, I know. Listen, we can have differences. I think it works here, but like I said, I don't think a checklist is a bad idea. I think I wouldn't mind having both. But I do think they're just different. And it's hard to have both in the same thing. Yeah, that's what Itoy was talking about, and Iwata was talking about when I showed those quotes ages ago about Mother. It's like, oh yeah, we just make it so they just do like, you're just an errand boy instead of like making your own adventures. Then, Mario Kart World has a different vibe, I think. Yeah, it's trying different things, which I don't mind. Don't become fish food. And to be fair, story mode is just an arbitrary stringing together of missions in a lot of cases anyways. The missions are already there, but the way they connect them is I guess, the part that some people like or don't like. If they did do some kind of mode, either in this or separate mode, what would the reward be for doing it though? Like what would they be giving you? New racers? New carts? I'm trying to think of what would be a good actual reward if you wanted some kind of reward. Because I don't even know. I will say I can never complain about story because I love story and I love good story. Some of my favorite games are my favorite games because they have really compelling stories. It's fucking fish. Oh, god damn it. I can still make it, I think. Just be careful to land. You hit the pole! Imagine how many more of these neat missions with unique mechanics if you could clear X challenges. I mean, true. I think you can find most of them. If you miss a couple, it sucks, but yeah, eventually, if you want to do all of them, and there's no way of finding it out. As far as I know. I mean, maybe there is that I don't know about it, but because they show you the switches, they don't show you the coins. The question mark switches, not the P switches. Oh, come on! Oh, the Kamek thing. I know some people are like, let's grind out Kamek. It's like, oh, we'll get them when we get them. I don't really care about being a Whispa anyways. I guess I'd have to know which ones Kamek can turn you into that I'd actually want. Like, I want to be Spike. I don't know if I give a shit about Whispa. I guess I gotta look at which ones I actually want and focus on hopefully getting those. Knowing my luck, I'm gonna be like the last one I get is Spike or something. Kamek being relegated to a completely useless item. I don't think it's a useless item. I mean, it adds stage hazards. It's like a fucking, imagine a Smash item that turns stage hazards on temporarily. That's basically what it does. It'll be like, oh, you turn into a Pokey. Now there's Pokeys on the stage. Watch out for the stage hazards. Which aren't like that impactful. Like Kamek more than Blooper. I don't know if it's like, well, Blooper I've always just felt like it's kind of annoying. If you know the track, it doesn't matter as much, but it can still be annoying. Now with how free roam the stages can be, I feel like Blooper's actually more annoying because now it's like less certain where I am. But like you can have an impact on your enemies with that. If they're good at dodging, it might be nothing. It affects everybody within an area. It's almost like a bomb or lightning, but maybe more like, you know, not guaranteed to hit anybody. I do like the dolphin. I just like the dolphin can ride on top of another dolphin. Also, it's been 3 hours. I do have to stop now. It's a weekday. I gotta be doing this, and I have to be uploading VODs from my my other channel, so that I can be ready for when I go on vacation, trip, whatever you want to call it. I meant to quit like 30 minutes ago, but I was chatting and having fun. Oh, new vehicle. Maybe multiple new vehicles. I feel like there's barely a large portion of the game's content with how there's 100 possible connecting tracks. Oh, well, yeah, but they're kind of... It almost feels like a melange of just racing. Trying to get every single unique configuration is like, I don't know if that makes the maps feel more or less distinct. There's the familiar sections and then the slightly random whatever's in between, but it's all fun. It's great music, by the way. But that was Mario Kart World. This was great. This was a great game. Again, it's very chill. Perfect game for me if I'm like watching a video or doing something or talking to stream. I like it. I don't know if I like it more or less than 8 Deluxe. 8 Deluxe had won me over because of the amount of content it had. This one is just different for other reasons. And honestly, this is the best single-player mode they've had in any Mario Kart game, even if it's not like what everybody wants. Which is fair. Except maybe DS, I don't know. But, you know, it's fun. It's enjoyable. You know, warts and all, it's a very good game, and it tries something pretty cool. I like it. I don't know how often I'll stream this game, but it might be a game I always come back to. And I expect almost fully that this will get some kind of DLC. Like, I would be shocked if it doesn't. I don't know what it would be. I mean, there's going to be free DLC for, like, new costumes for people. And maybe new racers. I fully expect that. But for other, more substantial DLC, we'll see. We'll see what comes down the line, but... Great game. It's wonderful. It's fun, because if it's not fun... why bother? Nintendo tracking app? Maybe. But, yeah. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll probably be back tomorrow with something. Maybe Breath of the Wild if I just feel like it. But probably like Nubby or something. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.